Well, greetings to you, Namibia. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a special broadcast coming to you live from the Kavango West Region, where we're, of course, about to see a stakeholders engagement being held by the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, just unfolding in a couple of minutes. This event comes, of course, just days after we've commemorated that is a World Safer Internet Day, as well as, of course, what was World Radio Day in the Kavango East region, also held, of course, by the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. This event, we now move to the Kavango West region in just a little bit outside Kurenkuru, where we, of course, are seeing many communication stakeholders, of course, regional authorities and those key players in the ICT sector who are here to discuss matters, of course, as far as their mandates, of course, speak about some of the challenges they're experiencing in the ICT sector, and also to address some of the issues on how they can, of course, improve services as far as ICT is concerned here in the Kavango West region. Many of the challenges that, of course, are noticeable. Challenges such that are, of course, as far as network coverage, of course, strong signal. That is, of course, a problem or a challenge that, of course, many residents of the Kavango West region have been complaining about for quite a long time. So we're looking at some of those challenges being addressed here in this engagement, high-level engagement meeting that, of course, is being held here. And like I mentioned, this event is being led by the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, and of course, key institutions that, of course, will be part of this high-level engagement is the Communications Regulatory Authority of Namibia, CRAN, who, of course, also then will be, also being on the side of government to also then understand as far as regulations, policy as well is concerned, to find out how exactly those stakeholders can work together, and of course, as far as government can work together, as far as policy is concerned, to make sure that those challenges that are experienced as far as ICT is concerned, they are, of course, then communicated. MTC, Telecom Namibia, and the Namibian Broadcasting Corporation are also part of this high-level engagement, and they are going to be presenting their mandates, speak about ongoing projects as well, and future plans for the region as well. Those are all key players that are in the ICT sector who are here to discuss some of those matters here in the Kavango West region. The NBC, of course, was represented by Peter Dang, the head of Department for that is News and Current Affairs, and he will also be here to give a presentation to speak about some of the mandates, of course, introducing the mandate of the NBC. Also speaking about what the mandate really of the NBC is as far as covering. Speaking about the experience of the broadcaster as far as its operations are concerned here in the Kavango West region. So we are looking at that also being said. And also then looking at the CEO of Telecom Namibia, Stanley Shanapinda, who also is here of course, in the audience, coming to give the presentation on, of course, the challenges perhaps experienced as far as network coverage is concerned, and also what are some of the things they're going to be addressing as far as the needs of the community when it comes to telecommunication. This event is, of course, then being hosted by the governor of the Kavango West region, Governor Verna Sinimbo, and she, of course, will be joining us to speak to us about what this event actually means then for the Kavango region, and also to also understand what really is going to be a concern. Governor, thank you so much. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much. Just talk to us about the importance of this region actually hosting this event and what it really means for you and the residents of the Kavango West region at large.
Thank you very much. Kavango West region is honored to host this event, stakeholders engagement, because this will mean after this, or at least during these deliberations, we can see where we should fall or where we fall short, so that we can improve when it comes to connectivity. So we are here to discuss about ICT issues, and Kavango West, like you know, is a rural region. Some areas are not yet covered, and we want to see how we can improve, how we can bring connectivity closer to the people. Yes.
Thank you very much, Governor.
Thank
Wish you all the best, yeah.
Thank you so much.
That was the governor of the Kavango West Region, Verna Sinimbo, who was talking to us about the importance, in fact, of the region hosting this high-level engagement. And now we speak to the leading minister, the minister of this high-level engagement, Minister Emma Theofelus, now joins me. Minister, good morning to you. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. The purpose of the ministry hosting this high-level engagement here in the Kavango West region. Please talk to us about the importance of that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, John, and a very good morning to all the viewers and listeners. Yes, this is part of our efforts as the Ministry of ICT to come down to the regions where we are actively expanding service delivery. And in this instance, it's connectivity across the country. So we have, not only as the Ministry of ICT proper, we also have our public enterprises joining us from, of course, NBC yourselves, MTC Telecom, TN Mobile through Powercom, and other stakeholders really, because we want to get closer to the issues. As you know, Kavango West region, as per our data, is one of the least connected regions. And our target here is really to sit down with the regional leadership, to sit down with the traditional authority leaders, who are the ones who are big custodian of the land. We will put up the network towers. The regional leadership is important because Kurenkuru is a growing town. We want to put up fiber, but many a times we come into some challenges with the local authority and the regional council authority because the process of digging trenches near people's households and near office buildings is sometimes brings conflict. So we want to have this once-off engagement where we sit down, we unpack everything, we show them our plans, we make sure our plans are aligned to their needs, which is very important, so that service delivery really goes to where the people have a need when it comes to connectivity.
Your message then to the residents of the Kavango West region as we then, of course, expect results to, of course, unfold from this engagement. What is your message to them?
Yes, we've received a wonderful reception here in the Kavango West region. Would like to thank the leadership of the Honorable Governor and the entire regional leadership, which is testament to how welcoming they are to development coming into the region. So our message to them is to continue being patient with us as we are refining our plans to expand connectivity. We are looking at all the 8 constituencies to make sure whether it's from Kurenkuru all the way to Mpungu that we have expansion of broadband access to the nation, and we ask that they continuously work with us to bring their needs sorted out in terms of public service delivery.
Minister, thank you so much. We wish you all the best for this engagement.
Thank you for having me.
Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Emma Theofelus, is speaking to us about what to, of course, expect during this high-level engagement. We now take you into the main hall as we, of course, anticipate for this event to take place. Thank you so much. This is John Konja coming to you live from Kavango West Region. We'll bring you this live broadcast in a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we all rise as we welcome Honorable Emma Theofelus, Minister of Information and Communication Technology, as she enters and takes her seat. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please, let's remain standing for the singing of the national as well as the AU anthems. ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. O sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life. Thank you very much. We may be seated. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our high-level engagement or meeting here at Simanya River Lodge. We are broadcasting live on NBC TV, NBC Radio, as well as our social media platforms. Please, if you go to MICT social media pages, you will be able to share the links with everybody who is not here with us this morning, or you go to the Namibian Broadcasting Corporation's social media platforms, and you'll be able to share the link as well for everybody to follow what we are discussing here this morning, or what we are tackling and finding solutions to. Speaking is Asteria Nangula in Rukwangali. I'm now Nangura Njenja. I'm a Chief Media Officer responsible for publications at the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. Before we start with the program, I would like to acknowledge our esteemed guests this morning, Honorable Emma Theofelus, Minister of ICT, Honorable Verna Sinimbo, Governor of the Kavango West Region, Honorable Philippus Tenga, Councillor Constituency and Chairperson of the Kavango West Region, or Regional Council, pardon me, the host councillor of the Mpungu constituency, Honorable Titus Shudifonya, Ms. Evelyn Nambahu, representing the CRO of the Kavango West Region, and she is the Director of Finance and Administration, and she will also be our interpreter this morning. I would like to recognize the presence of the honorable councillors of various constituencies, traditional and community leaders, Ms. Linda Nakale, Executive Director from the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, MICT management and staff, not to forget the captains of the ICT industry, ICT players, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, members of the public, and everybody following us from home or in the comfort of their offices. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. I'll be directing the program, and that will be my job, not to give any speeches, so that we actually just get into business and tackle what brought us here this morning. I just want to announce that the restrooms, as you exit the hall, we are encouraged to use the entrance behind, and then we go down the hall. You turn on your right. There will be ladies there who will be able to direct you to the restrooms. Also, I would like us to please put our phones on silent mode, or just switch it off totally, so that we do not interrupt the procedure. Ladies and gentlemen, today's engagement brings together decision makers and implementers, and those who shape policies, and those who bring connectivity to life. We will also be hearing presentations from CRAN, MTC, Telecom, as well as the Namibian Broadcasting Corporation on the presentations on their mandates, the ICT projects and plans for the Kavango West region that they actually have in store. And we are encouraged to speak in the languages that the people will be able to understand, and the languages that we can best express us or English today. I wish I could speak Rukwangali nicely, but we'll have an interpreter, as I said, and make people understand what is going on. To start with the program, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome to the podium the Honorable Governor Verna Senimbo to give us the welcoming remarks. May we please welcome her with a round of applause. Thank you very much, Director of Proceedings, Ms. Asteria Njenja Nangura. Very good morning. Very good morning. Good morning. Ish, the tense. Is it because of ICT issues or what? Honorable Minister, Honorable Emma Theofelus, Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Honorable Theofelus Tenga, Chairperson of Kavango West Regional Council, Ms. Linda Nakale, Executive Director, Ministry of Information Communication Technology. With your permission, Honorable Minister, I think Ms. Njenja have done a good job. She have recognized almost everybody, and I don't want to leave anyone out. Let me then stand by the protocol as it was already established by the Director of Proceedings. I hope you can all see me. It is with great honor and privilege that I warmly welcome you all to Kavango West Region, a region hosting 123,266 inhabitants, with 8 constituencies. Allow me in a very special way to extend a heartfelt welcome to Honorable Emma Inamtila Theofelus, Minister of Information, Communication and Technology. We truly appreciate this courtesy. We truly appreciate this meeting that we have here today with you. For you and your team for making it possible for us to have this high-level stakeholders engagement, which reflects government's unwavering commitment to engaging regional leadership and advancing the ICT agenda across our country. Can we please clap for the Minister? Honorable Minister, your presence here today speaks volumes about the importance of strengthening partnerships, accelerating ICT initiatives in our region, and creating platforms for open dialogue with regional leaders and ICT stakeholders to actively address challenges within this sector. This engagement is both timely and strategic. It provides us with a valuable opportunity to reflect on our regional realities, share experiences, and collaboratively identify practical solutions that will enhance connectivity, improve service delivery, empower our youth, and stimulate inclusive economic growth through technology. As articulated in our State of the Region address under the theme, Empowering Communities, Transforming Agriculture, and Creating Sustainable Employment. And guided by the developmental priorities of the SWAPO Party Manifesto, Kavango West remains firmly committed to inclusive growth, digital transformation, and people-centered development. The manifesto emphasizes on the expansion of ICT infrastructure, digital inclusion, skills development, and innovation as key drivers of socio-economic
transformation. These priorities resonate strongly with our regional agenda, particularly in addressing connectivity gaps in our rural communities, promoting digital literacy, empowering youth, strengthening e-governance, and supporting entrepreneurship. Through our SORA commitments, the region continues to focus on, not limited to, expanding access to ICT services, especially in remote and underserved communities, promoting digital skills development to enhance employability, strengthening partnership with ministries, private sector, and development partners, leveraging technology to improve public service delivery and transparency, and creating an enabling environment for innovation-led economic growth. Allow me, Honourable Minister, to also express our sincere appreciation to the Minister of Information and Communication Technology for the planned establishment of a rural ICT center in Ngamagoro constituency. This initiative is both timely and transformative, as it will greatly enhance digital inclusion, skills development, and access to information for our rural communities. While we are grateful for this important investment in Ngamagoro, we respectfully request that similar rural ICT centers be rolled out across all our 7 constituencies in the region so that no community is left behind in our collective journey of empowerment and inclusive development. For Kavango West Region, ICT is not merely a sector, it is a catalyst for development across agriculture, education, health, governance, small business growth. We therefore stand ready to work hand in hand with your ministry and all stakeholders to ensure that no community is left behind in Namibia's digital journey. Honourable Minister, distinguished guests, your engagement with us today reaffirms our shared responsibility to build resilient communities, unlock opportunities for our young people, and drive sustainable development through innovation and collaboration. Once again, to everybody present here, we are so grateful that you could make it to come and attend this very, very important engagement. Welcome to Kavango West Region. We trust that today's engagement will yield meaningful and lasting outcome for our region and our nation. Thank you very much. Tua Pandura.
Thank you very much, Honourable Governor, for those insightful and forward-looking remarks. May we please give her another round of applause. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they say the future belongs to those who are connected. And as we shape our future today, we will hear directly from the national leadership steering Namibia's digital transformation agenda. And it is now my distinct honor to invite to the podium the Honorable Minister of ICT, Theofelus, to give us her address. Please, let's welcome her to the podium.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Asteria, Director of Ceremonies, for our program today. Honorable Berna Sinimbo, Governor of the Kavango West Region. Honorable Philippus Tenga, Chairperson of the Kavango West Management Committee and Councillor of Kurankuru Constituency. I recognize the CRO in absentia with Ms. Nambahu acting on his behalf. I recognize all the honorable councillors from all the constituencies in the Kavango West region, our ED from the Ministry of ICT, Madam Linda Nakale. Please allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to stand on the protocol as established by our Director of Ceremonies, while also recognizing the leadership of our traditional authorities. Ladies and gentlemen, Kavango West is distinguished by its rich agricultural and forestry potential. I've spent the last couple of days in the region, and it was raining. My first comment to the Honorable Governor was that it's been raining and the greenery is so beautiful. And for that, the communities here in the Kavango West region, whose livelihoods can potentially be supported by innovation and access to opportunities, as one of the youngest regions in the country, Kavango West holds significant promise to contributing meaningfully to national development, particularly through the effective deployment of ICT infrastructure, which has great potential to unlock e-agriculture opportunities or agri-tech, boost productivity, efficiency, market access for local farmers, in line, of course, with our National Development Plan, number 6, and its aspirations. Honorable Governor, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of my engagement with you today is to take stock of the ICT-related challenges in Kavango West region, while also providing an update on key developmental and interventions, events or activities being carried out by the Ministry of Information and Communications Technology, as well as our line public enterprises. This platform allows us to collectively reflect on where we are, clarify where each stakeholder fits into the bigger scheme of things, identify practical areas for improvement and collaboration where technology is concerned. ICT remains a critical sector for socio-economic development as outlined in NDP 6. In line with the mandate of the Ministry of ICT, we continue to play a central role in creating an enabling environment in which the ICT sector can grow, can innovate, and deliver meaningful impact for the communities we'd like to expand broadband connectivity to. This is a collective journey that requires partnership, coordination, and a shared responsibility as we work together to shape a digitally inclusive Namibia that improves livelihoods and enhances the quality of life for all. Against this backdrop, I want to outline a few key issues that we've come to pick up while we've been in the region. In terms of network connectivity, Kavango West region is one of the less connected regions nationally, which is a major barrier to the region's development, affecting everything from education to emergency services to healthcare, and has negative impact on the potential of expanding service delivery. It is on this basis that under the Universal Service Fund, which is financially supported by the Government of the Republic of Namibia, Kavango West region has been prioritized under phase 1 of the project under USF to expand network connectivity. And so far under that phase, we've been able to construct 3 network towers, 2 at Kandumbu and Owiwi in the Mpungu constituency, and 1 at Naimanya in the Tondoro constituency. These 3 network towers have been completed and are awaiting to be connected to the power grid or electricity or energy by NORAD. Therefore, we urge NORAD to help us expedite this process so that once connected, these towers will bring about the much needed connectivity in these constituencies in the Kavango West region. And this connection will ensure that nearby schools and health facilities will receive free Wi-Fi for the next 7 years to enable e-education and e-health. Additionally, under phase 2 of this project, 3 sites are earmarked for this region, 1 in Musese constituency and another 2 in Pungu. The ministry is committed to work with the regional leadership to identify more unconnected communities for the betterment of this region, and of course Namibia at large, as we expand this project across all 14 regions. As much as we advocate for digital connectivity, ladies and gentlemen, Namibia is becoming vulnerable to cyber attacks. The cases of cyber incidents are shockingly on the rise. This requires the government to step up efforts to tackle these sophisticated threats through established structures and legislations, regulations, awareness campaigns, and implementation of threat intelligence and detection tools. It is against this background that the government provided funding for the establishment of the Namibia Cyber Security Incidents Response Team, NAMCERT for short, under the Communications Regulatory Authority of Namibia. This body is fully operational and serves as the coordinating point on cybersecurity matters. Our National Cybersecurity Strategy and Awareness Raising Plan, which is being actively implemented by the Ministry of ICT, in partnership with UNICEF and Lifeline Childline Namibia, is educating citizens on the online risks and importance of protecting ourselves on digital platforms. My team and its representatives from our development partners have been in the Kavango West region for about a week now, and they've conducted online safety awareness raising campaigns at various schools and look forward to coming back to conduct even more sessions. In terms of responsive legislation, MICD has concluded our stakeholder engagements to solicit input and comments on the cybercrime bill, which aims to create cybercrime offenses and penalties as well as general provisions to bring those to book who commit crimes in the cyber world. Namibia is improving broadband speeds that can drive digital innovation and economic growth with a reviewed national broadband policy. The new broadband internet speed targets of 25 megabits per second downloads and 3 megabits per second upload speed will be implemented on a date to be announced very soon to ensure fast speed, seamless connectivity, and boosting productivity and innovation. In terms of our Electronic Transactions Act, the regulations on the electronic signature accreditation of security services or products have been finally finalized. They are, which is deemed authentic and legally binding in cutting operational costs relating to printing documents, scanning and manually processing them when you sign them. So instead of getting a document, you print it, you sign it, you scan it, you upload it, and then send it to somebody. All you have to do is get an authentic and secure electronic signature, and you can easily sign documents online, which will really cut down time on productivity that we need in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, just like other countries worldwide, Namibia is prone to natural disasters of different magnitude, such as drought, floods, wildfires, and Namibia has therefore developed and we have launched our National Emergency Telecommunications Plan aimed at tackling the rising threat of natural disasters and boost disaster risk management to ensure reliable communication during crises. And I'm sure we can appreciate that technology is a man-made, thing. I'm sure, especially during the season, the rainy season, you will see that the network would trip because of the rain. When the electricity goes down, the likelihood of that tower connected to the grid also goes down, because technology is interdependent on so many other factors and variables, sometimes out of the Ministry of ICT's control, out of the operators' control, such as MTC and Mobile. And this is why sometimes we ask for your patience when disasters like that strike or when inconveniences like that pop up, because technology is man-made. Ladies and gentlemen, the ministry is currently advancing the finalization of the community media policy, which is aimed at strengthening and enhancing community media where especially community radio stations are vital platforms for access to information, local participation, and inclusive dialogue. On Saturday, we had a very nice program in the Murirani area. And it was such a great platform to showcase the talent that the Kavango West region has in terms of young people, many who are also on the Uitani radio station. But there is that need from all the stakeholders in this room for us to work together to make sure that the Kavango West region has a community radio. Voices the communities can trust, people the community knows very well, and who they can accept that when information is shared with them from these people, that information is authentic, it's verified, and speaks to the needs in the Kavango West region. And I know with the leadership of the Honorable Governor, the chairperson of the Regional Council Management Committee, and all the honorable councillors here, we can make it possible for the Kavango West region to have its own community radio. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, access to information is a fundamental human right. Thus, our efforts to ensure unhindered dissemination of information on issues of socio-economic development, government information centers have been developed in all our 14 regions as part of the Ministry of ICT's decentralization efforts. These centers provide seamless connection to all mainstream media, such as NBC TV and radio, as well as to community media across the country. I therefore call upon the regional leadership, including community leaders, as well as heads of different offices, ministries, and agencies that exist and are stationed here in the Kavango West region to effectively use the Kavango West Government Information Center studio at the Ministry of ICT's offices. The studio is fully fledged, all the equipment is there. If you have an important message to give out, that is the infrastructure available to you as a community to send out any information that is vital to the development of this region. Please be responsive, always be available to our teams as they look out or seek out your audience for you to share on information on projects, programs, and activities that are earmarked for development in the community and the entire Kavango West region. Government is investing a lot in water projects, in expanding energy and electricity, in communications like I've outlined earlier. But these projects need to be known. People need to see where the strides are being made, and that GIC is an avenue for local leadership to share that information. Additionally, the Ngamagoro Rural ICT Center that the Honorable Governor spoke about earlier is another way the Ministry of ICT, through programs called Rural ICT Centers, is rolling out a multi-purpose community center where people can get Wi-Fi connectivity, can print a document, can access a computer to type a CV, can access a PA system. I'm happy to announce that with the support of NTC Namibia, to the value of about 200,000 Namibian dollars, the Rural ICT Center in Ngamagoro has been earmarked, and construction will start soon, with free Wi-Fi will also be available for the residents of the Ngamagoro constituency. Honorable Governor, ladies and gentlemen, as I come to the end of my speech, as a government, we want our communication strategy that we're able to launch to effectively be rolled out in the communities so people know when there are moves being made in their region. And I would like to call upon all government communication officers in their respective offices, ministries, and agencies to fully utilize their tools at their disposal to make sure that the community knows when government is investing in infrastructure in the region. I look forward to open, constructive, and solution-oriented discussions during this engagement this morning. May our deliberations be productive and result in practical outcomes that strengthen collaboration, advance ICT development in the Kavango West region, and of course, as a country as a whole. Thank you very much, Mpandu.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, for outlining the government's commitment. We may be seated, ladies and gentlemen, for outlining the government's commitment to digital inclusion as well as infrastructure development, not just for Namibia, but specifically for the Kavango West region. So we are in good hands, ladies and gentlemen. Good things are coming, good things are happening. Please, let's give the Honourable Minister another round of applause. Before we continue with the program, I would like to call to the podium Ms. Evelyn Nambahu just to briefly give us a translation on it or interpret what the Minister or the Honourable Minister just outlined. And while she's making her way here, I would like to just request that the operators, MTC, Telecom, as well as NBC, get ready for the presentations, please. Thank you. Let's clap for Ms. Nambahu, please. Thank you very much, Director of the Proceeding. Morokeni, tatka hete kerakot pukama, kama ununu, suuyungwa somkuro na gwetu, Minister Theofelus, Minister go gweyo pampepo. Pokuhova, awokwa dimburu atupunye karopo, lio fumadeka nguru gwetu, Honorable Governor, Honorable Chairperson, Gwetugo Regional Council, Honorable Theofelus Tenga, imono wa Council atupuna venye, tani no wakaripo wa Traditional Authority, wakaramukachi ketu, imohena no maruhatu kulisiga agaga mone kaga wiza neina mo mipongoletu eli, gatundu kumaruhago kulisiga, tani nanatu wenye tupose tuwa wiza, tuwa mone. Asi au kwa tumbura nyasi Kavango zetu za utokero si mkunda ndiri jenzina zakara nawa zakara no uhui wo unene pongwendi mo nandima wa mona ka wizire tundapaba wiza wa mvura umza kuvura kuroka asi uhu wetu kwa karanye ose wanandimi tani ne mona letu lyo mowiza ndi forestry asi omatu vurugwane na mona goma mwezetu yohena watumbura si Kavango zetu zo utokero azongano kuvura omzaku yunga uneo NDP6 ezakarasi ngano twakona karasi osengano nyosi twakuvura karasi twakuvura ku aoba haranya kutarura nokunomena unene itwa oyo yakarasi yakarano mulio unene pongwende kuhame nanye ninke yetu yo pampepo ndi magwanekero go pampepo imohena no maudigu agatwa kuvura gwanekera nago gokuhamena magwanekero gena go pampepo tani imohena kumwe no inka ndi irugana oyo yakugenderamo ipwasi ministra zina omzakuvura kukakulika magwanekero gena zetu ndi mo Kavango zetu zo utokero awo kwatarura hena ndi batareko nyima okutwa kuvura kutunda imohena no kuvura kukafaturura nawa sinka somaruha nagenye agagakara sagavuru kwate sakongano magwanekero gena go pampepo mulionye unene asi tudiwasi magwanekero getuge na go pampepo ago kwa karasi igwagavuru apo mulio mo economy zetu ipwasi sirongo setu sivuroka zako meho iyo hena ba uyungasi twikira hena simpe kukarete sapo kara pamwe zetu omwaka rasi magwane keroketuge na kupampepo taka kavura kukara nawa ipogavure kukarete samo mulio monkara pamwe zetu mwina tuka Kavango zetu aranyasi magwane keroketuge nawa kwa karanyasi kumwe to gwanasi magwane kerogamo kapga kusika kona ibano batura bazi didilike nawa wasingano zivure kugwana gena ogona vura kurete sapo omwa kuvuranye kuyanene peka magwane kerogena ndino network dina bavure kuya kwasi bantu bavure gwane na muma wagena batumbura henasi ne kirogamwe ndino maruhungu gamwe gata togo bavura kurete sapo kwa karangi unene pongwe ndiko simanya motondoro constituency taniga waliko mompungu constituency muwiwi tani no koka ndumbu ago kwa karanyasi already ipwavure tupu kutura chenoruina ipo maruhungu getu gena gavure ngano kurugana omga karugana ye maruhungu getu gena eyakarasi watungi monye umono mkunda kagwane na moma wa omwakarasi ure onomvura ntambali na kagwana nye magwane kirogena gopampepo maokoko kagwana wifi zina bakuvura karuganesa asi Namibia kwa karanyasi karanye porupero karasi kwa kakara ngwendi mosponga unene po komagwane kerogena gopampepo ogoga karasi kwa kakara sponga mora kwa mamavura kali hamesera mu bantu kwato nana ka watu raponya mbudi omna karasi bantu ngapi mnavura kugwanekera ndingapi mnavura kuruganesa magwane kerogena gopampepo ipwasi kapisi bavure kuza moiponga ina yapiri kuwapera iyo bakuhundira henasi mbere wazinya ndi ruharu ina ronapsa arira ponya si ruharu ina rakuvura kuya rete sapo magwane kero gokuvura kurete sapo epopero odo talivuru ninkasi bantu kapisi bakaze moiponga ina omwa kuvura kali hamesera mo magwane kerogena gopampepo imohena nokuvura kukaronga bantu asingapi nani mnavura kukara mu magwane kerogena vapire kuvura kulitura mosponga sigendo sawo ndi sigendo sawo ao kabatumineko ndi warugani wa ukonombere wadao kakera sikvayakara mu mkunda gwetu hambara siwike nasinye katui mwene mkaikere kono TV omkavulire genda kono mkunda detu dokuli siga bavure kuuyungisa nokuronga kara pamwe zetu dogorone ina iyo baku yakaranyo omtwa kuvura kuya uzogera nokuvura kuuyungasi magwane keregwetu ngapi nani noma udigoga kuvurukarapo wa uyunga hena noveta dokuli siga odowa kuvura katura moirugana nodowa kuvura kawapukurura rasi cyber bill ozo zokuninkanyasi magwane keronye gena gopampepo vakuvura kakara ngano gavure kara megameno ipo gakarasi vahamesiremo o vakulihamesamo kapisi vakaremo sponga imohena sene nyasi gumu wa mgwanasi walepo ili yavuru kurugana yapiri kuwapera matenge keso msingi ogo nagavura karapo noma unzoni ogo nagavura karapo asina inyoyo ngata ivuruka karanye moveta zina iyo vakuyunga hena yokuhamena Electronic Transmission Act ndio zoveto zozimwe nazo za kuninkasi magwane kerogena go pampe pamwe kapisi heperoka ninkasi ntudino mbapira doge odipwagesemo ndio di printe tanovura kusaina tanovura kuituma nye sene wale ga kasikanye moutawa kora vaipulisire taikakarasi kuvura tupumo mono computer doge o mana kuchanga to isaina hena simpe momo to itumu ayo ina taikakara nyasi taikapopera suruo tani imono kuningisa isirugana ndi o maua okotwa kuvura kuretera abantu gavurukara mongenderera ndio zo service delivery ipozivurukara tazisiki ko bantu mo simbu asi kwayo pampeponye ndi technology asi ayo imwe kuirete support pu bantu unene posene rucheno pamwalero adimi makura network nazo kapitazi vurukara ko hena makura ezi media azo nazo za karerepo hena nazo atumburasi kwa karerepo magwanekero unene pogomono mkunda omtu akuba kutukorangidasi ngano tuvure kuya kuruganesa nombere wa dina sene tuakara nono mbudi odonatu vura kugawa momapeu kawakere nosilikasi nakatumwene kasikere komururani kampitirire ninkiyo inzi omubadinka ntukabalikidire mau nkurungugao ndi vadiva kaikerasi ninkiyo iwa unene yohena vakutunkondopeka asingano pitisiri domkunda nompitisi domkunda twakona yengano kuruganesa nombere wa detu dina ndi nombere wa dina dakara monomkunda detu kurukugawa nombudi ipohena si sene poili ya khoroka ngano kuvura kulimburura usimbu ndi malikwa mogogavu rukarapo tatu vuru pitisira monombere wa dina adoko akarere ponye ngadi vure kutukwafa mukavango zetu zo utoke nombudi diva yohena vakutumbura ozina center za kuvura kakara po ngamagoro ozo zakara marongi likido asi azongano nazivura kugawa makwate sekona genye ogoga hamene ikwayo pampepo yohena vakutumbura nyasingano apanaga kakara za punye zina nazo nazikagawa hena nazikagawa hena ngano wifi muwakalimo womo mkunda varekazi iyo vaku diorokesa hena noku zigidasi nombere wayena dinye dakara si depangero monorije nadinye edadivurugawa nombudi dakona karasi adoda paturuka kwa nkara pamwe womkunda ipo vavure kudiruganesa unene ngwetu adiwa mbirwa zetu za MICT za karamo nkuru mokuhulira au kwa kutumburasi awo vali wapaikire nokuvura karamo sigongesi kwa kumona si sigongesetu nasikakara nawa kwa kundindira ngano mtu akuvura kazogera no mtu akuvura kasimu iteramo tugawe nkayetu no maudigu getu okutwa kuvura kupita kuhame na ikwayo pampepo
awo kwa kumona singano epongoletu eli nali kagenda nawa mwanaruwa wale nikahagere tupopo yetu tunavuruka makompando.
Mpandu, Ms. Nambahu, for making sure everybody is included in the conversation this morning. As I mentioned from the beginning, we are live on NBC TV, NBC Radio, as well as our social media platforms. You can share the links, and everybody at home in their offices, they will be able to follow our discussion this morning. Up next, we move to the very West Region. While at it, I would like to give apologies from the Communications Regulatory Authority of Namibia, CRAN, that they will not be able to do their presentation this morning due to connectivity issues. So we're already starting there. So due to connectivity issues, unfortunately, they cannot connect to us here. So we are starting there now. We have an issue already to tackle. Yes. So up next, I would like to call Mr. Tuafeni Erastus from the Mobile Telecommunications Company, MTC, to start with his presentation. Please note, you only have 10 minutes, and within that 10 minutes, please make sure you share the mandate and concrete plan of your organization, and thereafter, we will concurrently just do the presentations, and then we take notes. After all the presentations, then that's when we will start tackling the issues. Thank you.
Good morning, Morokeni. Thank you very much, the Director of Ceremony. Honorable Minister, the entire leadership, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to stand on the protocols already observed. I am Tuafeni Erastus. I am in charge of infrastructure sharing and network development. Today with me, I am with Philemon Shishiveni, who is in charge of operations in North and Northeast, which now includes Kavango West. I will try to be very much brief. Well, we are here to present our achievements, the activities that we are currently busy with, especially within Kavango West Region. But however, we are also here to take note, to take note of your challenges and how we can better resolve them. Well, MTC, we have invested significantly in the infrastructure development. Today, as we speak, we have about over 1,000 sites countrywide, and by sites, I mean any structure that is housing radio access or RAN equipment. And that could be towers, masts, it could be lamp poles. Some of them, you'll find them on water reservoirs. Some of the equipment, we put them on building rooftops. So together, they make up 1,092. Well, we have also invested significantly in the fiber network. Of course, one would want to agree with me that fiber is foundation of any modern economy. And I would want to say, as a country, we are doing very good in that space. Well, we all want to be connected to internet. Out of all the sites that I've mentioned, there about 86% of them are having 4G. So to us, that is quite an achievement, especially with the quest to make sure that we narrow the digital gap. Well, we have about 38 shops in the country that are dedicated towards serving our customers. And of course, in Kavango West, we do have one shop in Kurenkuru. And we have now two in Rundu, that is now Kavango East. We have also tried as MTC to diversify. We are also in the fintech space. We have our product called Maris. Last year, we have also launched our 5G, and as we speak, we continue to roll out our equipment in different towns. Well, what are some of the current activities that as MTC we are busy with? We have a project called Project Buffalo. Yes, we have been receiving complaints of customers despite the fact that they are closer to the towers, but however, you will realize that they still have challenges. We have now embarked on a project where we are trying to sort of optimize our network. At times, it's software upgrades. At other sites, we install additional equipment, and the end goal is actually to improve coverage as well as customer experience. And we are progressing very well with that project. Yes, the Honorable Minister has mentioned about the USF Fund project. Last year, of course, we had 9 sites that we had to build. And in Kavango West, we had 3. And as we speak, they are all on. Yes, the Honorable Minister has highlighted some of the challenges that we are facing, which is power. Yes, due to the quest for network, where we are struggling with power, we have already deployed generators in the meantime, while we wait for NORAD to connect us to the grid. We are also having some activities of 4G expansion throughout the country. We want to make sure that at least all our sites should be 4G capable, and we are also progressing very well. Yes, the 5G that I mentioned earlier, we are also progressing very well with the rollout. The fiber expansion, we are also continuing. In Kavango West, in particular, we have built fiber from Rundu that went through Nkurenkuru towards, that is Rundu. So just to narrow it down to Kavango West, we have about 38 MTC sites in Kavango West. 3 are located in Nkurenkuru town. One of them it's in, Nkurenkuru Extension 8. We recently built this one, and as we speak, it's also on. Yes, the Minister has already mentioned the 3 sites that we are going to build again. One in Kata village, the other one in Singurue, and another one in Hema. So we have made significant progress. We'll do the handovers now for the towers to be erected. Yes, also just to let you know that we have a product called Spectra. This is mainly for the businesses and houses internet. It's available in Nkurenkuru. So that is progress for us, and the sites have also been connected to fiber. I know there were times when we were receiving a lot of complaints that there were a lot of failures in Nkurenkuru. The network is on and off, but at least with the fiber and also the microwave that we have, we believe we should be able to achieve stability. Okay, what are some of the challenges that we are facing as an operator? Yes, we are having power interruptions here and there, At times, the customers are saying, well, the moment the power goes, the network is also gone. Yes, the network depends on the power. And of course, we are supposed to have backup. Yes, the batteries will only last for a certain number of hours, then the towers will go off. Yes, at times we also try to deploy generators, but yes, we can only do as much. We are facing theft and vandalism. Yes, like I indicated, some sites we try to install batteries, but you would realize that our people will still come and take the batteries. As well as vandalism, we now encourage the leadership that we sensitize the community to just have that understanding that it's our infrastructure and we ought to protect the very same infrastructure. We also have challenges acquiring land. Yes, we need to build towers, but however, we will need land to build these towers on. And we encourage the leadership that we make provision for land where we can erect these towers. Yes, we have challenges where we want now to say to sunset 2G and 3G. We want to get rid of these technologies, but however, the devices that we have on the ground are not yet there. So that is one of the challenges we are having, but we are trying our best to see where we can maybe meet the government halfway also, because at least somewhere the devices need to be subsidized and people need to have access to these devices. Okay, what is next for MTC? Well, we will continue with the rollout of 5G. We want to make sure that the entire country has access to 5G. And when we talk of 5G, we basically mean speed and reliability. We want to make sure that people have access to internet so that they can participate in cloud computing, artificial intelligence. And we also want to make sure now that we roll out voice over LTE, where you are also now allowed to make calls via LTE. Well, I believe I was brief enough. That's it from my end.
Thank you very much, MTC, for that brief and straight to the point presentation. Please, let's give him another round of applause. Up next, I would like to call to the podium Mr. or Dr. Stanley Shanapinda from the Telecom Namibia to give his presentation on on Telecom's mandate as well as plans for the Kavango West region. Let's please give him a round of applause.
Good morning, colleagues, Honourable Minister. Again, we are very honoured to be here, also to share with you what we are doing as Telecom Namibia, as a, an organisation under the Ministry of ICT that is charged with implementing the national development goals. So, Honourable Minister, you will excuse us or allow us to hijack your engagements and to be making part of ours in the interest of sharing costs and so on, because we know that this is one of the best ways in which we can reach our stakeholders. If the minister is there, we know that some of our councillors and traditional authorities are also there, and we look forward to the opportunity of engaging with you as well. So we're very excited about the Kavango West region. We'll speak a little bit about how we've rolled out TN Mobile, particularly in this region since its inception. Currently, the one project that we have ongoing is a 3G site in Kavango. As MTC has experienced, or also indicated earlier, the site is ready to go. We unfortunately, again, do have power-related issues with NORAD in order for this site to go live. The huge challenge that we have with power provision in the area is firstly that it is quite costly. So, sorry, Kavango East. Sorry, my apologies. The principle remains that we have quite a big challenge with regards to accessing power. We get rates of roughly 600 and 700,000 to connect the sites, and that is roughly half of what it would cost us to put up that particular site. So a site would be roughly 1.4 million to put up the tower, and then you have to pay between 600 and 700 just for the power alone. So apologies for that wrong reference there. The other sites that we have rolled out include Banya, Katwitwi, Bunya. I need to get my Rukongali brushed up. Nankudu, Kurenkuru, Mururani. So the last two have 4G services. Mupini, Kalisuka, Kulisuka. My apologies again. Quite a few faux pas here. And so we have 9 sites. 4 are up between 2G and 4G. And the remaining sites are 2G to 3G only. They provide road connectivity that also serves as emergency connection. You can send a text along the road and so on. But we do know that there are plans for us to shut down those 4G sites. We're busy engaging with CRAN as to a phased process, as was also indicated by MTC, that a lot of our customers are using rather 2G devices as well, and we would want to keep them connected as well. In terms of our future plans, we're currently doing our scoping and our project planning for the following 23 sites. I'm not so sure whether I should now mention names because I may just mispronounce them. But Mpungu is quite a big one where we've got particular sites that we've identified there. Also, Makumbi, thank you. And so these are the sites that we are looking at rolling out. Those were the first 23, and then we look at which brings that up to 46 sites. So there's quite a number of sites. And as the minister has indicated, it's one of the least connected. So when we sat with my team, we looked and we said, wow, we've actually we've got a lot more sites that we've identified for the Kavango West region than many of the other sites that we've presented on. So there's quite a bit of work to be done here to get us up to the 46 sites from the 9 that we have, right? So we are more than tripling. This is a 500% increase in the number of sites that we want to roll out in the Kavango West region. However, was one of the things that we need to speak about, and we're very excited that the ministry through CRAN started the Universal Service Fund, of which we would also be beneficiaries very soon to roll out more towers. And this helps us as operators to also be able to roll out more sites instead of using our own funds, because it's cost quite a bit to be rolling out these sites. So our rough estimates are that we would roughly need 163 million Namibian dollars to roll out these sites. That's just an estimate. Hopefully with NORAD we can keep the electricity prices down, which would make it a little cheaper. So we have to go back. We do submit our annual plans to the ministry, speak about how we can phase these sites in so that we can roll it out much quicker, so we can catch up with the rest of the regions as well. So in addition to that 163, that's once off, we would roughly spend 20 million a year just to maintain these particular sites. Then let me jump to how we're doing in terms of revenue generation and our business here in the region. We are doing pretty well, roughly let's say 9% profits in terms of our targets year to date. So we're making good business here, and we would want to grow it. So it makes sense for us to start rolling out more towers because we will serve more customers. But also, here's the important part. With the limited funding that the Universal Service Fund has, how we pay for these other 46 sites is using the profits that we make, that we reinvest into the region. So as you can see, from the past few months, 3 months, how much we've made, it's not near enough to roll out what we need to roll out. But we use those profits to roll out more and more and more sites. But we use the funds from other regions, Windhoek, Erongo, Khomas, and so on, that we use some of those funds and profits we make there, which may be higher, to then reallocate those funds to regions where the profit margins may not be that big, to be able to roll out more sites. So what we generate here is not enough for the number of sites we roll out, so we subsidize from everywhere else. And so in that way, we spread it nationally across the country, so that we just don't focus on the urban sites. But it is as if the urban sites are paying the tax, and then we also address the development needs in the other regions as well. So you'll see the Telecom Namibia team on the ground in the region. During this month and the month of March, you will see us around your shopping malls. We will come to your houses and sell you some of our products, so please welcome us in. We will also call you to speak to you about our products and whether you would enjoy those, and also visit the various educational areas. We will be engaging you as we move with you to you from house to house to speak about your interest in with our fiber products as well, so that we roll those out. We currently have a few fiber connections to main areas such as the hospitals and the clinics, and so from those areas we can use the equipment there to see that we can service the areas that are the closest. Amongst our customers are students, and we loved giving them our Jiva products that's got a good price and good quality of service. Honourable Minister, you'll be happy to note that with the rollout and the expansions that we've made, although most of the sites are 3G, that the complaints in terms of quality of service in the main areas, there are sites where there are still black spots where we need to roll out, for example, this area, but where we've upgraded and connected, that the quality of service, we receive some of the least complaints in these areas, which indicate that customers seem to be a lot more satisfied with our services here. Lastly, we are very excited to be partnering with the Ministry of Education, where we are in the final stages of agreeing on rolling out connectivity to the region. We're looking at 21 schools. It's part of the government's overall school connectivity project that's going to be rolled out in various phases of 3 years or so, and we are a partner with the ministry to be rolling out connectivity to these particular schools. And I will not attempt to mention any names. I don't want to offend anyone, as I've already done. But these are the 26 schools that we're looking to connect as part of this particular project. So that's the good news from our side, and thanks again for having us, and we'll be very happy to engage with you during our break.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shanapinda, for that outline, the plans in the pipeline for Telecom Namibia. The future indeed looks brighter for the Kavango West region. Let's please give him another.
That was the Ministry of Information Communication Technology having a stakeholders engagement in Kurenkuru. That will be moved to NBC2. We now cross over here on NBC1 in Hobabus with Miss Namibia. Stand by.
Also.
Thank you very much. We are going to start with our national anthems, and before we come to a prayer, short prayer by Julia. Thank you. Julia, start with national anthem. While we are remaining standing, let us just ask for a short prayer.
Amounts to, as you know, amounts to 361.5 million. Let's look at what we call the CAPEX projects. These are capital projects that is not funded by the operational subsidy. And I'll quickly run through. We had been, since 2021, up to date to this financial year, we had received more than 200 million for our operational capital expenditure. We started in 2021 with 2 million, 27 million the next year, and then we ended 120 million, the highest, and we thank you, Honorable Minister. So quickly, what we're looking at is what under that currently under that 121 million is engineering for our wireless access network, flyaway kits. Now, flyaway kits is like doing. Previously we had to use a big OB van to do live broadcast. Nowadays we can pack up and move in one vehicle to do a live broadcast. That is a flyaway kit. Then also we had the supply and delivery of laptops. Just coming to the area here, we had done air conditioning. My apologies also. I need to acknowledge also Mr. Muyenga, the head of WATO, and he's accompanied by Ms. Scholastica Munango, the media planner. My apologies, colleagues. Sometimes we get overwhelmed. Dr. Shanabinda, there's a WATO just outside here. It is where the name is derived. The WATO is, as we know, very, very important in the riverine community. Yeah, so I don't want to sidetrack, but yeah, these are the projects that we are having. Quite a number of them, and one of them is also the commissioning of the OB van upgrade to HD and 4K quality. Honorable Governor, I'm sure you have noticed that our screen looks much better in terms of quality, quality of the visual, what we deliver, because we deliver in HD, and now even the step up is 4K. 4K is much higher, much more higher definition. These are the projects that we are busy with currently. Some of them have been delivered. Now, achievements, and this is what we like to talk about. This is Nina Katangana, we all know her, daily roundup presenter, 6 o'clock, between 6 and 7. This is her. And then under the key achievements, NBC Plus, NBC Plus is an app that you, like an over-the-top application that you can use, you subscribe. Currently we have 61,000 subscribers. And then also local content. We have increased local television content to 68%, above the set target of 30%, while radio local content exceeded 97% during the period under review. We keep on training people, and like we are saying, what we produce is of high quality. We have seen in Asteria, Nangula. Nangura, yes. A total of 94 interns and 20 apprentices have been onboarded across various departments since 1 April to date. Our financials also, we have improved them because, let me just leave it there, that sentence. And then what happened also over this period under review is that we migrated from one auditing service to one that is more suited for us. That is IPSAS, the International Public Service Accounting Standards. So that also helped us in terms of doing our auditing much quicker and hopefully to the liking of the Auditor General. NBC submitted its 2023 annual report to the Ministry of Finance and the Line Ministry as part of compliance requirements. The annual report for 23-24 and 24-25 are currently under development. Last year also we did very successful coverage of the regional and local authorities elections. This was one of the first, and again, it's collaboration, partnerships that made us do what we did with the elections, because we were able to work with the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology and also our sister institutions like NAMPA and New Era. And that allowed us basically to really bring our coverage down to constituency level, where people had voted and they were following their vote. We were able to provide up-to-date coverage because we deployed teams across Namibia, basically. And it's the first, yes. And that was quite an achievement for us. Again, this issue of artificial intelligence, Minister spoke about it, World Radio Day. And the message was that a human-centered approach should always be front and center of what AI should do for us. Yeah, but we have to move in that space as well. So some of our employees attended training on AI conducted by Deutsche Welle, very high-level experts that did training on AI for us. International recognition, NBC through its Content Hub service also won an award at an African Media Award for a documentary on music. They did, and they got it in Ethiopia. This was the first, I believe, of many to come. And then also SDGs and gender-based violence. We had partnership through the Southern African Broadcasting Association. We partnered with the UN, and then we did training for producers, reporters, and even editors to report. I don't want to say better on GBV, but to report more meaningfully, I would say, in terms of terminology that we use and so on. Festive season programming, again, I think NBC was able to, over the festive season, provide entertainment, information, and education. Our radio remained very strong. So this is enough of what we have done. We are looking also at what we are still going to do. And this come to, sorry for, Madam Director of Ceremonies, how much time do we still have? Okay, I have to, yeah, well, direct to home. That is our new, and this will improve our coverage. It's national coverage. So what it means is it will provide 100% network connectivity to all Namibian people on all NBC platforms through effective broadcasting technology. I have to stress the all platforms of NBC. This includes television, radio, and even our digital platforms that we would, through, and the process is ongoing. The NBC is transitioning from DTT, digital terrestrial television, to direct-to-home satellite broadcasting platform. But it's perhaps too technical, but what it means basically is that we will go on satellite, and then, because satellite, if you look at the DSTV multi-choice platform, anyone who has that, the hardware can connect anywhere in Namibia. So that is basically where we are at with DTH. Very soon we are going to roll out. Implementation will spend 6 to 8 months and includes a phased deployment strategy, public awareness campaigns, and the launch of high-definition thematic channels. We are going to have a channel for parliament, education, sport, agriculture, health, music, and a dedicated, I spoke about the 24-hour parliamentary channel. The DTT platform will transform Namibia's media landscape by ensuring universal access. Under this DTTH initiative, we are going to reconfigure our channel offerings with news and current affairs, which is flagship of the NBC. We'll provide specialized coverage, and that will be 24/7. Local programs, content focused on local culture, history, and issues relevant to the Namibian audience. Diverse selection of films, sport, 24-hour. You will also notice that these are very much aligned with the 8 priority areas as outlined by Her Excellency President Ntumbo Nandi Ndaitwa. I'm pressed for time, but this is basically what we would be having. Music channel, health channel, education channel. And then under this, there's supposed to be 150,000 set-top boxes over a 3-year period will be distributed, annually 50,000 a year. So it will help to penetrate the households. These set-top boxes, this is basically a decoder. In simple language, a set-top box is a decoder that you use to receive the signal in your house. So we have what we call conditional access control, that so if you do not pay your TV license, we are able to switch you off. Then, of course, customer management. We will seamlessly connect with the television system. So our revenue in that area, Honorable Minister, I believe would considerably increase. And then again, something I spoke about already is this strategic relationship between sister entities. Sorry, I'm too fast now. Yes, strategic relationship between our sister entities, like I said, NAMPA, New Era, and of course also the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. We are able now, even at this event, we were able to seamlessly integrate our two services here, and we are able to deliver what we came here for as NBC and Ministry of Information and Communication Technology. Yeah, content NBC Plus, I spoke about that. Consistent increase is now at 61,000, the subscribers. And I want to thank you, but I would like to, with your permission, Madam Director of Ceremonies, just to localize. Yes, I'll do that in that time, if you allow me, because I would like us to speak to our first quote. Who can still remember what I was saying around the time is now? Yes. So Minister, have spoken also about access to information and the need for access to information. And I think, Honorable Governor, since your appointment, we have increased coverage to Kurumkuru and Kavango West considerably. I think since that period, we had something like more than 120 stories. The news teams are here. Elizabeth and Job and Francis and Matthias Kapanga would drive up and down from Rundu to cover events here. We are not seeing that as very sustainable. So what we intend to do is to establish an office in Kurumkuru. And like I was saying, the time is now, Honorable Governor. The time is now. There's no better time than this time. And without wanting to promise, make things here and promise things, but it will be very soon that we establish a team. Teams have been identified and they are ready for relocation. In fact, they are very excited about. So, and I was talking of AI, and I have to declare I used AI. And I'm trying to show what our team is doing in the field. Those 120 events they covered. And one drawback of AI, Honorable Minister, is that AI do not know us. They don't know our context. So if you prompt it and ask, give me a team that is in the field. These are not Namibians, you can see. But we need to also learn AI to understand us as Namibians. Yeah, so and this is what we are saying. We are looking forward to this, that we will inaugurate, and this will be the teams that will be here very soon. Our regional media headquarters. If those who are keen-eyed, they will see there's a mistake, and this is AI. AI, you need to carefully, also, when you use it, it's not my platform to say these things, Honorable Minister, but it's just as experience I'm sharing. You see there's a mistake in the headline. So if you're not careful with AI, you will make those mistakes and even more serious mistakes. I'm coming to the end, and I want to quote Honorable Governor when she had an engagement around food production. There was this engagement with the Ministry of Agriculture. The Deputy Minister was here. And the Honorable Governor spoke about year-round food production. And it's possible here. Look at the water, copious amounts of water, and the soil is so fertile. And Honorable Governor, through what you are doing, we want to be with you all the way. We want to work with you and tell Namibians the story of Kavango West on the move. But I want to end with this quote of Governor. We don't want to be called the food basket. We want to walk the talk. The time is now. What did we say? Sirobo sina sikimo. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Denk, for outlining your plans as well as commitments and future plans, actually, for the Kavango West region specifically. And I would like to thank all the presenters for sharing that information and their plans as well. We now move on to the important part of our program this morning, where we discuss and then we reflect and we ask questions. So I would like us to make our questions as brief as possible, any additions and so forth. The team will be sharing the mics around. You just raise your hand, you introduce yourself, and then you pose your question or you propose solutions. In that process, we strengthen our collaboration. The floor is open now. We have a hand right somewhere on my, please keep your hand up so that they can see you. Here.
Thank you very much for the floor. And also I wanted to use this opportunity just to recognize the Honorable Minister as well as our Honorable Governor for Kavango and the entire Honorable Councillors for various constituents and various dignitaries invited. My name is Ausiku Johannes Ausiku. I'm representing the Kavango West Regional Farmers Union. Thank you for the opportunity once again. Yeah, I wanted to stand first to thank the ministry and the ministers for these wonderful programs, and it's very important in terms of communication and share informations down to the community. As you see, the ones that are sitting with their community members, they are also learning something that they can share when they go back. That one I would appreciate for that. Yeah, my question, or my questions that I'm going to start with the ministry is about MTC towers. As you know, Kavango West, we are still having a challenge. We have over 200 small-scale farming units in Kavango.
Well, thank you so much for staying with us as you are, of course, observing this stakeholder engagement taking place in the Kavango West region, the Kavango East region, pardon me, just outside Kurankuru. You are now witnessing the question and answer session that is from regional authorities, members of the community of the region also now who are posing their questions and also sharing their contributions to the presenters who just had their presentations done. We had 3 presentations handed over right now in this, of course, engagement that we just saw. Dr. Stanley Shanapinda, CEO of the Telecom Namibia, gave his presentation, who just highlighted a couple of course, plans as well as the challenges experienced as far as ICT is concerned in the Kavango region. And what we've heard from him is that there are about 46 side plans that are that the institution is planning to fold or rather reveal in the region, and that will cost them at least, or require them to at least have about close to 170 million Namibian dollars to have these plans of course are unveiled. That takes us as far as connection issues that the region currently experiences. Some of the challenges experienced as far as the connection network problems, of course, also being quite one of them. We do know that the phone devices are also then unable to by Peter Denk, who also gave his presentation, of course, on behalf of its Director General, saying that, of course, NBC rather has a team that, of course, is already ready and is already on the ground to, of course, always be ready to broadcast and also go as far as covering the matters that, of course, are happening here, as far as bringing stories to the people in terms of both radio and TV. And we also heard that some of the plans are being unveiled is, of course, to improve radio services wider into the region. And those are some of the, of course, now conversations that are being held here in the region. So as far as we know, this event, of course, is expected to still go on for a couple more minutes, and right now we still have the session of the question and answers being given. The question of answers, of course, being provided by the members of the community, as well as regional and local authorities of the Kavango region. And now we are, of course, expecting later on, we will be bringing you the cabinet briefing by the minister, who is already here in this region, who will be bringing this, of course, then later on. But for now, this is all we're bringing you. Of course, thank you so much for staying abreast with us. We'll be right back later on. But for now, that's me from Johnny Konza and the team. It's back to you in studio to bring you another live broadcaster from Hobabas.
We want to go for further. How many may be that one there?
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ausiku. I would like to pose a question and answer for now. Let me give Ms. Nambahu a chance just to translate what briefly the presentation, so that we are all on par and moving together, and then we continue again with the questions and suggestions and additions. Ms. Nambahu.
Thank you very much for that opportunity. Pando unene computers na guana nika kame tupupa usupi. Honorable Governor, Honorable Minister, I should mention that some of these terminologies in our local language is very difficult to find. So unless you just have to explain it, so sometimes it's a bit challenging. Wadeni tumbure tupasi elera kadwa kweteliwa kuyunga. Nonkango dimwe kaptos guana meraka de tuloro kwangali. Tudi wali kuzifatura tupumarana nkaitekera ko tupukama. Asi muyungu getu kwenda kukuhoba kaya presenter otate Erastus Tuafeni ka tundire au kwa tundire ko MTC. Asi presentations aonye ndisi yunga sao ao kwa bareke asi kwa bareke no itundwamo oyoba vura kutomporamo tani no inka oyoba kuvura kurugana ndino surugana suwa kuvura kurugana mo mkunda gwetu gwa Kavango West au kwa uyunganyasi MTC ga tura monye mulio ndi gosimaliwa mono momagwane kerogena eya karasi kwa karanyasi eyowi nono murongo mgoi na mbali gomaruha agaba tulisapona rebaturapodo no magwane kerogawo agaga karasi kwa kuvura kurete samonye mabantu babure gwanekera ikarasi para ko radio ndi okokono funguna thani iwizamo yimo yobavura kuturamo kwa karasi mo magwane keronye gonongo didina domaru cheno digendi demevu ndi fiber network edida karasi tadivuruka kondo peka magwane kero no murongo hetatu na ntazimwe no persenta asikwa karasi adoda karanye no 4G kapta dias morkwanga linkenyi walemo munatupatu vurugwana genderero lokuvura kugwana tuvure ku communicator pampepo thani vakara no ozosorongo nasinye no murongo mtatu itora yao yo MTC yakara sorongo nasinye monkure nkuru simwe tupusakaramo anomo Kavango East Ivali Vatumbura asi zo products za onyozo zimwe abatumbura si marais mvure zapu ipo bao zikutura musirugana azokwa karanye singanono 5G za kuvura kurugana irugana nye bakuvura kurugana nyengesi yakarapo yakaramu irugana kwa karasi zo project zao bakutumbura Bofalo imo bagwana masiba nogomanzi gatunda ku bantu gakarasi bamwe kakarasi bakara pepi no maruhungu gena mara kapya bavurugwana magwanekero marusiwa no gena bagagwana na batarasi ngapi mnavura kagatarura ipo bavure kusa po marusiwa no gena ipwasene bantu bakara pepi no maruhungu gena gomagwanekero ngano bakona kuvura kara ne gwanekero kabango zetu nyezo utokero zakara hena no udigu wo rucheno momtwa diwase rucheno seno radimi makura ntudi magwane kire nagota gatundupo na mplingo mwasa wiro imo kamba dara wavure tuwaru vure kurugane sawade no generator ndima no battery na dakara nye ko maruhungu gaogena nye namplingoso kapya ivuru kutompo kanawa morayo kara tupuka ruogona makura kapita ivuru na kurugana ipowa hundire nyasi ngano seniasi nore dia vura kutura si nakunye marucheno ga vuru kwanekerako aota vuru nyengano kuvura kapatu rampili no na maruhungu gao genagamo batura ga pirisi mpeku za moirugana asin maruhungu gao nage nyengano kwa karasi 4G karanye nozozo oror cheno nyororo magwanekero rwaduka mevu kutundirira Kavango zetu ruzengano dogoroko rundu iyo heva tatu ogo gakarasi ogo bavura kuturanye maruhungu gaogo thani mawango gatatu ogo gakasi monkure nkuru extension 3 8 hago kwa kurugana gakurugana thani mawango hena gatatu ogona vura kudika vaturepo maruhungu gao gakarasi hata vakara hena nozo surugana saoso vakutumburasi spectra esakaranya sasongano tasivuru kukwata kanesanye vavure turapo kukwata kaneso ndi magwane kerogena unene pongo ye vanangesefa imohena no mambo moramo mtuputu azoasi awo kugwanekera unene no maudigu ndi masiva no gakutunda ko vanangesefa imohena no se vatungi mo mambo asikapya tuvuru kuwana makwata kanogena ndi no connection makura yewa kuyunganya si ogo marucheno nyogoga kupita ngano mevu agongano naga vura kuyagusa ponye maudigugena twa kuvura kupita nago no challenges ndino maudigama kanyasi gogo kunenkanyasi no network dawo ndi magwane kerogawo ago kuhame na unene ndi kwa rapo no bure digugamo kasi kwa gwanekera no ma widi ezona gurole mona odo gomarungu wa fraktura po yo bakuhundiranya singano no mpitisi do mkunda sikare sinkasi kunomena ndiso kuvura kuronga vatungu asiva emona lina udimumwe pakarasi okuvura gwana evu ndi evango pona avura kuturanye ogo magwanekero maruhungu awe nomeno lyao ndiyo rameno lyao vahara nano ipwasi ngano natu wenye ngano tugwane swale no fo asima toko meno gaonye kwa karasi vahara ngano kuturanye magwanekero ku 5G igowa haraka tura muirugana tani yakaranyasi ngano no kanesogena nagenye ngano kuvura senega wiza kumwe ipo vavure kuturisapo magwanekero gena gokuvura gwanekera pampepo iyo vahundire nyasi ngano navenyewe nakarasi vavura kuhamena mwavura kurete sapo magwanekero gena ipo vavure kulikwata kumwe kero gena munkhara pamwe suyungwanye satunduko Telecom satundire ko Dr. Stanley Shanapinda awo kwatumbura si wahafa unene mukuyakara mu kavango zetu mzoutokero va kutupa mohe na no projeka dawo edida karapo ndiye diva rugana oznazimwe katulikida kwa moneka kazi karepuko mora gwina mkunda kapisigomo kavango zoutokero kavango zoupumezua dogoro no mayo wintambali ago kwa karanya sigakara no magwanekero gogogo mavango tani ago mkoso gwayo taivuru kuva kosanye mulio gwa pitakana ko imaliwa gwa pitakana no miliona zimwe ize komeho kwina 1.4 million ipo vavurekatura po maruhungu gena vadimburura hena mavango gamwe ogona avuratura magwanekero gawogo yakarasi mobunya tani site zimwe kokatwitwi na nkudu ntana murorani ano mpini kulisuka awosimba wakuruganisanye magwanekero gena go 2G gakarasi ago ngano simpengwe konyima vakara hena noma vango ndino site mgoi edida karasi adokuruganisa pokachiko 4G tani no 2G kuvura simpewene gwana kara hara kutuma SMS guna magwanekero kisira tovuru simpe kuirugano yongoso sinzi vadimburura hena sisinziso va so hamenimo vao ndi vakastoma vao kuruganisa unene 3G tani no 2G manomeno gaonye ndi mafaneko gawo gokomeho kwa karanyasi ngano vavureka gwedereranye hena simpe mavango gena vakuvura kutura maruhungu gao ndino site dao dina odo vakuvura kutura magwanekero gao dogoro papa kwa karasi magwanekero tane mara vaharanyo kagavukisa gaka sike dogorongano kuno murongone na ntazimwe vatuli kidano mkunda dokuli siga obonga abura kukagatura vakara ena nozo zinasi fund wa kutumburasi universal fund azo izo nyazi vurungano kuva vatera ipo vavurika tura nyi mafaniko kugenda mu utawa kora engungu nyikironye lyo mkoso gwina kwa karasi ngano no miliona dasi kiko 165 esere no murongo ntazimwe na ntatu zono miliona va pumbwa ngano vavurika tura po magwane kerogena po mabango gena dimburura ayo kwa karanyasi sene mukuiga ununanye mwa kenyelima bakona kuruganisa no miliona no murongo mbali watu likida hena mzaro gwawo nye kukwamena ngwende yasi omvavura kutompwera mu ruharo imaliwa ndi wizomo yawo ndi financial performance awasyawo kwakurugana na wange sefa nawa iyo hena baharanye ngano bakuhariranye ngo muntu amono mafane kugawo bavureka tura notawa dawo ipo magwane kero gavure kurerupa awo kwa harakurugane na bantu mugurugane sanye iwizo moina bakuvura kwanamo ipo bavure kuitengwida ivure kuizahe na simpe monkara pamwe awo ine kuigwa ndangwende kono region dimwe dapeke batumbura commerce region nono region dimwe dapeke odwadi ninkisa adi ninkasi idwadi rete samo hansa iwizo moyo inzi oyo adaika ninkanyasi tavuruka iruganesa simpe kono mkunda dimwe dapeke odnada karasi iwizo mo kapiai karatupu nawa yo mtompo ndiyo inzi asina akawiza vakuyungani sina akawiza simpe komambo nokono ngesefa ipo vavure kuyadiwisa no product dawo ipo tudidiwe na dinye ipo nga tuvure kulihameseramo vauyunga hena nyasi awo vadiwasi va customer vawo unene po varongwa awo kwakara no poziri products imozo avurukuvapa ozo zakarasi ngwemo mkoso hansako tupu nyeva simpe pokeli mavango gamwe gakarasi kwato simpe magwane kero agana kaninka sivakuvura ka tura ipo pavure kukara no magwane vavure kukara no magwane kero vauyunga enasi unene pongwe ndi papa tu akarangesi asi wale marunyege nyo masesu vavura gwana kwa kumonekasi wale va customer ndi vatungimo wale va hafa noyo vavurugwana mo kapina diva ina kapina diva nyepena si mosili ndi ngapi moramo mtu amono asi no network hapa ndi magwane kero kapiga wapa pomkunda hapa vakuvura kutura monye ndino initiative dawo vakuvura kutura po vahara ku reta sapo ye magwane kero ndio dono project do magwane kero kono sure yo va dimburura no sure ngano do vakuvura katura magwane kero gena no sure no mrongo mbali na ntazimwe dakarasi momo kavango zetu zo utokero asi zina presentations za ongani boza hagere kwa kama moto puimwe ano presentation zokuhulilira azokwatundire nye ko NBC eziwaturetera otate Peter Deng kwa tupepo mhowo ekundopo lyatundu kwa director kwao ndi director ko NBC Stanley Similo ogwa pili kuvura kuyakara kumwe nose mora inka imwe hena yapeke tupe zina koti ndi na nonkango dina asi siruo na sikimo. Now is the time. Vatupe momzaro gwao omwa tarura komafane kugao gonomvura ntano asi inkyo wakuvura karugana monomvura ntano do dakuiza ndi ozo strategic plans zao kwa karasi unene po akutara ko wahameni mondi ko watungi mwasi ngano wavure kuhafa ndi customer satisfaction awoyo wakututantera enasi awo kurete sapo bene iwizomo yawo oyo yakusika kono miliuna esere na mbali tani wakututantera enasi kuwareka mo nomvura 2021 dogorongesi wagwana mo iwizamo yasikiko no miliuna esere no mrongo mbali yavura kutundirira ko ministry zo magwanekero watupemo no project adaodo wakuvura kurugana zimwe capex project ezo wakutandasi flywheel kit ozo wavura kuruganesa kuvura etu alimwe tupuli vure kuzako mkunda talika rugana irugana nainye tafaneke taba gawano mbudi nadi nyimo mbya wapere iyo hena bahara ku rundurura ndiba upgrade ogo magwanekero gawo itunde nyengano ko OB ize ko HB eyakarasta ikatupanye itundwa ngano yoiwa ipwasi mpili mafano kwina ko TV ngano tomono na mafano gazere bene nawa momu yafira watupemo hena itundwamo yaoyo inzi ndi mtompo gwao kubatomporamo simo kwa karanya sozo NBC Plus ezakarasi zakara nova hamenimo ndi wa subscriber nomorogo tazimwe na zimwe yovi tani local context ndi oyo idana ukawali avuruku onkara pamwe oyo avuruku rete samo walengo na watu awunga sitawa ziwale pomkunda tawa faneke makora tawa vuruku itura ko TV ayo nayo ya zeruka ya kasika po no percenta nomoro ntazimwe na hetatu tani no internship program ndi gena malikwa mogo kuningasi wena wana sure bakulirongera yo kuhamenanye yo koruhoro tawa vurukuiza ipo bavure kuyatura mosirugana ndi bali deure oyo bakulirongera nayo poi ipo yakara tani batulikida henasi aonao simpe kusikisamo osna sinkaso kuninkasi ikarasi wizomo yao nainye omnoma vurukiruganesa bavure kuichanga ipo baya itaruru riasi imosilia fire ndingapi awoyo aruganesa nyezi IPSA standards ezo bavuru kupulisira ngano izo za wapere kuziruganesa ipo bavure kubatarurura zo financial statements zao awo hena kugawa nawo itundwamo yelima nali nyasinki bavuru kurugana makura tabaigawa taningwe limaliapu twamwena si varugene nawa yatompokere omavulire kukwata marongi kido gehororo imo gakere mosorongo setu gowa kansela wetu wonomkunda imohena no kansela wono local authorities asiya batompokere nawa omabulire kutuma bantu wao sorongo nasinye ipo bavure kukakwateka ihoro kwa nainyo yo mbya kuvura kuhoroka awo hena batupe mwasi bagwana nzapo zo bagwana zo kuhamena nzapo zo mouzuni ndi international recognition ozo wakagwanene ko Ethiopia tani batupe mohena si iruina tukarangwendi ya sindimba atukarano ili kaya kuli siga awo kuturako hena simpe nao malikwa mogao go iruina lelikuwa moli aonye limwe ndi project zawe zimwe kutumburasi direct to homes azongano tazikagawanye magwanekero nawana wanga amo mgafira gukuzulilira mora au kwa haranya ngano wakarugane se satellite ozonazi kaninkanya zikatupa mo nyengano mtomphogomua umna gakaras magwanekero ngano gazulilire 100%. Ayo ingano takaitura mwirugana walena ikakwata ureo makwedi ntazimwe dogoro makwedi hambo ndatu ngoso. Tani watupe mo tupunya sino channel dawo ndi malikwamo ugogoti vyo kwa tupe malikwamo msinke unene ngwe mbudi no programa tupudo mono mkunda no movie dina walikida no musika imuhena neiyo malirongo ndiyo kuhamena malirongo go education. Projeka zao zimwe watumbura zo kuhamena decoders ozo zaka karanya singano tatu vurukaruga nesa dono dikododo na dikatuvura kutupa signal ndi dikatupulisire ipo tuvurukaruga nesa no TV ayonga ikakaranya sene wale kapio futunyo zo license zoge ndi TV license owe kuvura waka kutimisire makura kapto karahena no magwanekero gena iyo waku kundiranye ngano makwate soko ko maruhanye ko kuli siga unene ngwendi ko ministry imondi new era ipo wavure kuruga na kumwe ngomo muya horoka ngesho mwa wizapa ozna NBC Plus zao mo mnatwazu yunga izo ya manesa nazo henasi wakara no hamenimo wakara no mayo ina murungu ntazimwe na zimwe tani mbuti zongwanye wale hena watu pemo asingano ka turetera mberewa nazi yakara naya tura monkure nkuru mberewa zo NBC mumtwadiwa sose mberewa mwato monkure nkuru mo kavango zetu zo utokero ngano na wakaturetera mberewa eza kuyakara monkure nkuru ntantan tupu asi varugane ndi mbunga zao zakarasi zaliwapa ikire kuiza vayarugane monkure nkuru kwa kundindira tupumbero wanyangano zona avura kuturapo. Sokuli irali nefano watu likida liakaranya so vakuvura kurugane se yokuhamena ngwendi AI mumtoa diwasi technology kwa kurero pika ininke mara nazo hena simpe sene kapio kutaka mesa ndio itarure nawa mapuko simpe na goma nzia gavurukaramo asi wakuhagera no sos na koti zinakatupena sisiruos na siki sesi pando.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nambaho. We'll now continue with our discussion, and I just want to emphasize that the Access to Information Act requires us or mandates us to share information in the language that the people understand. Hence, we are translating our messages this morning because we are also live on radio. I need to cover my grandmother who also needs to understand what is going on, what is Telecom bringing to us, what is NBC bringing to us, what is MTC bringing to us. Hence, we are translating our message. Please just bear with us. We want everybody to be included. Thank you very much. We continue with the discussion now. We can raise our hands and then the mic will be provided. I think I have one mic here.
Honorable Minister Emma Theofelus, Honorable Governor Bernas Limbo, Honorable Tenga Philippus, Chairperson of the Kavango West Regional Council, and all the councillors present and all the stakeholders in this room. My name is Elena Magano Diparo, the Regional Coordinator for the SWAPO Party. Not a question, but I just want to appreciate your commitment, Honorable Minister, towards the progress in your ministry and the initiative of this gathering. Honorable Minister, in your statement, I picked up a shocking finding that says that our region, Kavango West, is categorized as the less connected region nationally. It's true our people in the rural areas are always complaining, not only in rural areas, let's say across the region, are complaining on the MTC coverage and NBC coverage. You might find in some villages where water service is catching, but you listen to Osherero, other stations, can I say, from other regions. But Kavango service or water services is not covering. Unfortunately, as a political leader, it has become a very disturbance because our councillors have now become the owners of MTC and NBC. The blame is always upon them. No councillor, Shudifonia is not doing his work. They only took MTC coverage and NBC as the services of councillors. So I'm so happy to hear on the presentation of the MTC and NBC on the plans that you have for Kavango West Region. I would really appreciate if this plan will come into fulfillment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. There was a hand here at the front, and then we move on to the Honorable Councillor on my left.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Governor, Honorable Chair, my fellow councillors, including the stakeholders. I was listening attentively to all the presentation. However, none mention Nguni constituency. I'm extremely gutted, especially by the presentation of Telecom. Doctor, help me understand the logic. Nguni is one of the 8 constituencies that we have in Kavango West. And you made a projection that says that these are the future sites, and you also made a projection to say that these are the schools that are going to provide with TN mobiles and so on. My question is, why isn't Nguni constituency featuring anyway? For too long, Nguni was always at the back. And I don't think we are going to keep quiet if it will carry on like this. None of the schools, the 26 schools that we have just mentioned, is featuring a single school from Nguni. I'm inviting you to the drawing board, Doctor, so that we can rectify this, because my grandmother also wants this development. The allocation of resources should be even. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No one should feel left out. Let's take note of those questions. Yes, you can give to the Honorable Councillor here.
Thank you, Director of Proceeding, Honorable Minister, Honorable Governor. Let me stand in the protocol is already established. Honorable Minister, mine is, first of all, I just want to thank you, even though I don't know the staff of MICT did not inform you that we have a rural center in Pungu, but I just want to beg you that the Wi-Fi that we got is not enough for the clients. If it can be boosted, then it will be good. My question goes to MTC. MTC, I'm very happy to hear that you are going to construct 2 towers in Pungu constituency. But my worry is, how do you identify places without the consultation of leadership? I'm posing this question because of the place where we are today, Smania. Smania, we have this Smania river roads that we call. We have Mexican Rally. We have Smania Secondary School as well as police station. If I could be consulted, then Smania could be number 1. But since you went and gave the site, I will not tell you that no, remove this tower from that site and bring it to Smania. Then I will, that is war already. Therefore, I argue in the future that if any construction is
good morning, Honorable Minister Theofelus, Amen. Our Honorable Governor, Vernas Nimbo, and all the stakeholders. We appreciate the visit of the Minister. I just have few questions. My name is Matilda Shpapo, and I'm the Center Manager from Kurenkuru VTC, as a newly established public state-owned VTC. I just have 2 questions for the Honorable and also MTC. So one of the questions that I have is, maybe because I deal with youth most of the time, because we are into the sector of training, so I have seen a lot of innovation among content creators in our country and as well as among our students. So therefore they need support. Now in that case is for the minister, or perhaps maybe the ministry, or perhaps the government, to look into monetizing Namibia as well into social media platforms, so that our students or our youth or any other content creator can become, a beneficiary of a certain income. Because we have really observed that other countries globally, they are benefiting, especially when it comes to our country that is so having a high level of unemployment. If I have to speak of our region, I think it's about like 52% unemployed youth. So there was a time I saw a video that was sent to me that was done by a student or maybe a youth at our center. So he went to take a video and then he gave the introduction of the center, that is one of the newly established center, it's opening. It was a very good video. And then I said, if something like this can benefit somebody to get an income, this certain youth could have gotten something out of it. So therefore my question is, what is the strategy that the minister or the government have put in place to make sure that our country is also monetized? The second one is, we are so grateful, Honorable, that we have a platform where we have studios at MICT that are fully fledged with all the digital or technical items or equipments that we need to make sure that we have, we are able to disseminate information. We really appreciate it. But however, I would like to request if the studio can be set so that it's able to allow the team or the stakeholders that are visiting the studio, that it creates that environment for interviews and proper setup for the studio. Because I have witnessed it's not really set. It's not having, apart from the videos and so on, it's not really well established or set. The last one is on MTC. We are situated at Extension 6, Kurenkuru VTC, but then we are always in a limbo of not really getting any calls most of the time. We don't get calls, we hardly. So as an operation, we are really, really losing out so much on maybe meetings or important work-related calls that, that is there to help us operate. So when we are at the center, we hardly receive anything. So I would like to see whether there are some provisions of creating an extra network boost that can assist us, because we are hosting students, we are hosting staff members, and we need to be on communication. So we feel cut out. So MTC, please see how you can assist Korenkuru VTC to have internet, not internet, sorry, network connection, so that we are having proper communication. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you very much. I'll now give a chance to the operators, just giving them each 5 minutes to respond to the questions. I would like to start with Telecom. Okay. We can do another round of questions. We have a hand right here, then we move to the Honorable Councillor.
Good afternoon. I think we're already past 12. My name is Pauli Titus Tentu. I'm the operations manager for AMTA. I have 2 questions. Basically, Honorable Minister, I think if we've listened well to the narration of different speakers with regards to the issues of connectivity in Kavango West, I think for me it's a crisis. This situation for me is a crisis in the sense that if you drive now from here and anything happens on your way to Mpungu, on the road, you're not able to communicate with anyone. And I think that's a crisis. Secondly, it is a crisis because if a person that is staying at Bravo settlement now, those farms around there, gets bitten by a snake, it becomes a serious challenge. Because how do you communicate so that you can get medication? My question is, we have listened to the presentation from Telecom where they are saying they need roughly about 163 million to set up all the towers. Considering the challenges and knowing fully that it's also a state-owned enterprise, what is it that government is trying to do to meet the people halfway as well as Telecom halfway to ensure that there's connectivity? Obviously, we know for a fact that the resources are not so much adequate. So what time frame is the minister giving this house to ensure that most of these issues are addressed, so that at least we have more than 60% connectivity, or even up to 70%? That's my question. The final one is, I do not know whether it's a combination of MTC and also maybe also the responsibility of the minister. We still have issues of people that are using SIM cards that are not registered. And they are using these SIM cards to steal and scam people around. I still find this as a crisis. Honorable Minister, through your leadership, what is it that the ministry or that your good office is doing to ensure that this situation no longer continues? I so submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Councillor here, yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, Honorable Governor, our chairperson, and all protocol is observed. Mine is with regards to site identification of network towers. Is there a criteria? Because in borehole drilling, they do site siting. They look at number of aspects before they come and drill. If there's some issues, starting with the land, what other that makes it possible, like power, is assessed. Now, if I want to have an example of one of the village from my constituency, Nakatawa. Nakatawa have 5 homesteads. And within Kutu and Kata is within 5 kilo to Nakatawa. And Nakatawa and Kutu and Kata, they have electricity. So looking at the cost of power that is now to come to a tower, I already see that if you put Nakatawa as a tower, people will wait longer because of the cost implication from NORAD. But if you put it Nkata or Nkutu, because the power is already there, it will be easier. People will not wait longer, and the network will reach Nakatawa as well. Is there anything that the MTC or Telecom see before they declare that they are going to put a tower at a certain village?
Thank you, Honorable Councillor. Any other question? We have 2, 3 hands at the back. Let's start with the gentleman on my right. Yes. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, the Governor, the protocol observed. My name is Kambinda. I'm from the business community. I just wanted to, not necessarily a question, but to find out from both Telecom and MTC. We would like to know if there are any other projects whereby MTC and the Telecom would maybe think to work together in implementing those type of projects, because we are looking at the challenges both companies have are more similarly the same. How the approach is being done, they were mentioning, according to the minister, the support, finance, and other things are more necessarily the same. Is there any project to say maybe Telecom would prefer or would suggest to work with MTC and solve this problem in a region? NBC has just indicated they have been working with the sister institution, NAMPA, New Era, and the things are being done and problems are sorted out in the region. So if we combine the two, perhaps maybe on a certain project to say, can we push and see? We don't know now the terms and conditions or how their references are with their organizations. But perhaps maybe some of the things must be combined, then they will be solved easier. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. There were 2 more hands in the middle row. Oh, there are 3 now again. Okay. Let's find out if there's another mic that is working so that we keep to our time quickly. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, Honorable Governor, Honorable Chairperson, Honorables in the House, good afternoon. My name is Hosian Hitanwa, the Director of IUM, Kurenkuru Campus. I just wanted also to post probably a question to Telecom Namibia, because it seems like, I don't know whether they have a power backup, because many times when the power goes off, then all the telecom infrastructures are not operating. We are relying on Telecom when we are for LMS, ITS, and so on. But when the power goes off immediately, we have our backup at the institution, but we might not operate because of Telecom. And the other thing is our telephone. Since then, I don't know how many years now, if you call us on our landline, do not go through. But I have called them many times to come and check, but I don't know what is really going on. Despite that we are paying the service, but we are not receiving any, So I think maybe something needs to be done so that we can see how we are going to operate. The other thing might be what we need to do, maybe we need to collaborate with with the NORAD, I think there is a problem somewhere, because anytime the power goes off, we are struggling. I don't know, the line ministry, the Minister of Information and the Minister of Energy, maybe they need to come together and see how we can solve this problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director.
Can I go? Okay. Afternoon, everyone. I think we're running out of time. I would like to stand on the protocols already observed. My name is Mundu Kasera. I am the Assistant Operations Manager for Recon Namibia, or Recon Africa, responsible for the operations in the region. I had two questions, but I think the first question was already taken up by Mr. Stentu. I listened attentively to the various presentations, and thank you very much for the engagement, and I think this is a very important engagement. We heard that there are plans for new network towers and the outroll, but then for our operations, or for many operations, for farmers, for many remote operations, network towers will take some time, and then they are quite expensive. So the question I have is that, what is the position? This is to the ministry, CRAN in absentia, MTC and TN Mobile, looking into cost-effective, emphasis on cost-effective, low-orbiting satellite solutions that will be able to bridge the gap in terms of communications for rural businesses, farmers, and then also remote camps such as ours. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity granted. My name is Pontianes Musore, Director of Education. Honorable Minister, Honorable Governor, Honorable Chairperson, and Honorable Councillors, I want to add on the concerns that were raised by colleagues, starting with our Center Manager for Nkurenkuru VTC. There, just to add that next to the VTC, we have a secondary school. The problem they are experiencing, we are also experiencing it. Please, we want connectivity in that area. My main concern is with our colleagues, Telecom Namibia. The Ministry and Telecom have agreed to connect the schools that were displayed there. But our concern, especially in our region, is the pace at which this connectivity is being done. I wish the colleague could have mentioned how many schools were connected up to this far, knowing that the financial year is already coming to an end in, should I say, a few weeks to come. Our request is just to maybe increase the number of staff members that you have in the region. What I know is we don't have technical staff members from Telecom. They always commute from Rundu, and many times, which is in Kavango East. Many times they tell us that they don't have the equipment that are needed to assist us connect our schools. Our secondary schools, especially those that are offering the AS curriculum, have got smart screens, which is supposed to assist them connect to other schools. A teacher who is in Ventu can give a lesson whereby learners at Kanjimi Morangi, for example, can follow. But due to lack of network, we are unable to make use of those facilities. The same line, I want to conclude with telephone lines. Many of our schools have got telephone lines. And also basic internet, which is supposed to be used even for administration. We are paying for these services, but we are not using these services. I think it's the same Dr. Iteno have just explained as well. We just want assistance from your side. We are glad that you are here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Two more questions. There were a few hands. It could be that the questions have been handled already by the previous speakers. We have a hand right here at the front.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'd like to observe the protocol established. Honorable Minister of MICT and our Honorable Governor. Councillors also welcome and thank you for the opportunity. I'd like to ask Telecom MTC. We spoke about the experiences that we have of power shortages and network disappearing. So what are the plans for these problems that we're experiencing? I was thinking about, can't we set up solar plants, generators, for the time we lose power, something that can kick in for the network to be stable, and people not to complain about losing out on network or can't communicate. It was said that MTC said they needed to allocate lands to set up towers. So for the towers, what are we doing about it? Do we talk to the regional council in order to find land where to allocate our towers, especially places like here, where the network is a bit weak, or we are suffering from network problems. And the last thing, I think it was about, Master Stanley said it is roughly needed about 700,000 to set up a site and still facing electrical problems. So costly wise, can't we, since we spoke about NORAD and electrical problems, that's where I go back to the solar plant or a generator. And I know MTC is experiencing problems with theft, especially with the batteries being stolen at the sites. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will now hand over the podium because it's becoming heated now. I want to give it to Telecom Namibia first, just to respond to the questions. You have 5 minutes. I think you can do it right there, Mr. Shanapinda.
Thank you. Firstly, we do appreciate the feedback that we get, and that is why we're here, so that we can listen to your concerns on the ground and we can take it with us into our boardrooms when we do our planning and so on. So thanks very much. As far as Kuni is concerned, we've taken note of that particular comment, and we can see what that is. I've already been engaging my technical team on the ground to just get a better understanding of that. In terms of consulting on the plans, we do have site applications where we do visit traditional leaders, traditional authorities. We really don't have issues getting access to land in Kavango West. The authorities are very eager to have towers rolled out, so that's not a big issue for us. So we do come to an area and we say, this is where we want to put up. They would indicate that this is particularly an area that would be great. For example, if it's close to a school, if it's close to a clinic, if it's close to a regional government office or a national government office, Home Affairs, police, those are the sites that we look at in terms of our criteria. We also look at the cost, how much it would cost us to roll out. We also need to consider budget, for example, what can we afford? But also we try and make a mix and match. If in a particular area we make more revenue, those are the areas we'll probably go to first, where there's a bigger population and we can see that there's money that's being generated. But then we also go to areas where we make less money, so we combine those two areas to try and roll that out. And ideally we would start there where we'd make a bit more money so that we combine it, and in the next phase we may go to another area, so that we need to get the money flowing in so that we are able to roll it out more. In terms of how government is meeting us halfway, the Universal Service Fund through CRAN is where we apply to and get subsidies so that we can roll out, and this indicated has started, and Kavango West is a part of that. I've noted the concerns around Kurankuru VTC and IUM. I have engaged my technical teams, and they should be in touch with regards to those connectivity and landline issues in that regard. With some cards that are not registered, we do ensure that all our cards there are complaints that are coming in from police. We trace those to particular individuals if a SIM card has been used, and we do give that assistance directly to law enforcement, and that's how the process gets done. We cannot give it to any other individual to get their call detail records. So if there's an issue about someone being scammed, please do report it to the police. The police will then come to us, and we will disclose that information to them. We do work together with MTC. So, for example, at Rupara and Kurankuru, for example, we share towers, and that makes it cost-effective for us. We own a company called Powercom, and that company is responsible for rolling out towers, and they roll out towers for both MTC as well. So that's where we can share the cost, and they share the cost of power, for example. That makes it a lot more affordable, so we don't duplicate putting up towers everywhere. In terms of the power problems that we do have, firstly with NORAD, it's way too expensive, and then it's also not stable. So for our site, we have batteries as a backup. But if the power goes off for too long, which is many times, then the battery runs out. And then if the power is not restored during that time, unfortunately, sad to say, during that time when the batteries are gone, solar batteries, other batteries that we use, generators, then we push on NORAD to get the connectivity back on again, but it creates a bit of a problem. And then it's also the batteries that are getting stolen. So if I could plead with the traditional authorities, the regional councillors, when you do have your engagements with the communities at school and so at schools and community hall meetings, please do share that message that people look after the infrastructure. That if they see that someone is stealing, someone is near a Powercom site, near a tower, and they're not supposed to be there, please report that to the police and the local authorities so that we can look after our own equipment. The school connectivity project is with the Ministry of Education. Those projects have not started yet. As I've indicated, the agreement is in the final stages of getting signed, but those have not commenced yet, so we've not rolled out anything in that regard. I've also spoken to the team around the technical staff in Kurankuru, and we just shared around how we can ensure for fast service delivery to have technical teams on site as well. And the arrangement is that the teams would come from the other regions, be in Kurankuru and the surrounding areas for a couple of days, a week, until they resolve these issues. But I think it is
a good idea that we do get more permanent placement, and we will investigate on getting teams here. And I've been engaging my technical teams on the ground, and so we will start those plans. As far as the Leos are concerned, I think I'll leave that up to the policymakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shanapinda. I would like to give the chance to MTC now, just to give their response as well to some of the questions. To all the questions, actually, not some, all of them.
Thank you very much, the Director of Ceremony. And as I indicated earlier, that we are not only here to present what we are busy with, but we are here to take note of what challenges the community is facing out there. And I would like to appreciate all the contributions made so far. Well, I would like to start with the first point that was raised, that will seek more emphasis on the need to have more towers in Kavango West. Yes, we are fully sensitized. We do understand that Kavango West indeed needs more investment in terms of making sure that all our people are connected. And yes, we are going to keep this in as we do our network planning. CSI, that you need more visibility in terms of what MTC has done to give back to the community of Kavango West. Well, I think it was an oversight from our end that we did not include it in our presentation in us to say what is that we have done to give back to our community. But MTC is very good in CSI. We are very good in giving back to our community, and I will definitely cascade the information to our colleagues that are in charge of that, that if we haven't done that in Kavango West, that we look at it. The other point that was raised was how do we identify the sites? And I know the question makes reference now to the CRAN site or the USF sites that we have highlighted, the Kata that we are building, the Singuruve that we are building. Well, the sites under the USF project were selected by CRAN, and as operators, we are given the areas where we are supposed to build these towers. And of course, I do believe that some of the things they look at when deciding on these locations is the institutions that are there, as well as the population, and the fact that probably that community has no access to connectivity at all. The other point was of that of Kurenkuru Extension 6, where the community members are facing challenges with connectivity there. Well, I'm glad to last year the CEO wrote to MTC regarding the network challenges in Kurenkuru town, and we responded. We did our planning, and we came back and we did surveys in the town, and we identified, I think, close to 4 locations where we would like to build new towers, and approval was already granted. And I'm also glad to say that we have started with that initiative. We have already built 1 tower, and that is now in Extension 8. So we ask for your indulgence that we are coming. Yes, we can't implement everything in 1 financial year, but definitely we are hopeful and we will get there. Okay, there was also a call that we, as operators, work together. Of course, we have highlighted a number of challenges that we are facing as operators, and there was someone that requested that why can't we work in tandem? Why can't we face some of these challenges together? Well, we take note of that. I believe that's why we are here to listen to you. Those are some of the guidances that we are looking at, and we'll definitely work together. The doctor has also indicated already that, yes, we are working together when it comes to the space of sharing infrastructure. There was also a request to say enough is enough with the complaint of power failures. Why can't we build solar plants and also make sure that these sites are equipped with generators? Well, it's a good idea indeed. In an ideal world, that's definitely what we would like to have. But because of financial constraints, we can't achieve that. But definitely, we have some of our major sites where we have installed backup generators, and we continue to do so. Well, I believe that was it that we needed to address.
I believe so, but I'll still ask if all the questions have been answered. We are not leaving this room with an unanswered question. But let me give the opportunity to Mr. Okay, just hang on, please. Before I give the chance to Mr. Denk, let me give the... Okay. Mr. Denk, you may go ahead, then the Honorable Minister will then answer the questions that were directed to the Ministry.
All right. Thank you, Madam Director of Ceremonies, Honorable Minister, Governor. I'll be very brief. We continue saying we take note, but when we go back to the office, we need to implement what we have taken note of. And I agree with many of the sentiments. There is room for improvement, and we need to look at that. Partnerships, Dr. Shanapinda and Mr. Erastus, if we see vandalism and destruction of property, let's work together with the traditional authorities, the NBC, can do stories there to create awareness. My team is here, they are taking notes, unregistered SIM cards, there's a story there. We need to go and find that story and see how we can create more awareness. But in short, we are stronger together. I want also to give opportunity for Mr. Cosmas Muyanga, the head of WATO, just to talk briefly about the challenges around reception. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Denk. Thank you, Director of Ceremony. All the protocols are observed. It's true. The availability of WATO FM specifically in Kavango regions. Honorable Minister, Governor, the NBC is aware about Mpungu as a constituency, especially the area of Kwaki. The challenge is that the frequencies, because of geographical area in the low-lying area, so the frequency will then jump over the residents that site. We are aware of that. Any other places, you can subscribe to NBC Plus. I think you can still receive, even in Kwaki, if someone is there and this person is subscribed to NBC Plus, that is the way to go. The other thing that is in the office of the HOD radio services, we are also aware that our listeners, they don't know their frequencies. You can't listen to WATO FM or any other radio services tuning on 92.3, all the way from Rundu, traveling this way. The signals will be lost somewhere. So we are having a project under the HOD of radio services for us as NBC, with the collaboration of our listeners and viewers, also to promote these frequencies. For an example, Etekuli listen to WATO FM on 90.7 megahertz. That is the frequency. You can't tune the frequencies in Rundu. 94.7. Nkurenkuru 105 frequency 0.10. And then Okongo 98.6 megahertz. If only all of us can, assist the NBC also, to promote these frequencies, you'll be able, to participate and appreciate the information on a daily basis. Yeah. I think that is on the NBC not being heard in Kavango West Region, but especially in Kwaki. That is in short what I can say, Honorable Minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muyenga. We have all the people that we need to hold accountable right in this room. So don't let them go until you get their contact numbers. I would like now to move the mic to the Honorable Minister just to give briefly the answers to the MICT questions. I'll be with you now, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, leadership, my seniors. The Honorable Minister has delegated me to answer some of the questions.
Very good, thank you.
I think the issue of connectivity has been widely discussed, and I think to a greater extent MTC and Telecom and also NBC have addressed that. But what I should just mention also that the Honorable Minister stated in her statement is that Telecom and MTC are commercial public enterprises. And for the longest time, when it comes to ICT infrastructure development, Telecom and MTC have been, allowed actually it was them that have been rolling out the infrastructure. But as the Honorable Minister has indicated, for the past years, government then stepped in to say as much as Treasury gives funds to a road, for the construction of a road, we should do the same for the construction of the towers. So, for example, when the Honorable Minister indicated that 3 towers already have been constructed with the funds from government, and these towers are waiting for the power. Once these towers are connected, we believe they are going to make a difference. That was under phase 1 of the project. Under phase 2 again, we have other 3 towers that have been identified through the Universal Service Fund from the regulator, and there are certain conditions to say that tower to be set up should be closer to either a school or health facility, and then that school and health facility will be connected for 7 years free of charge to the internet. So this is what the regulator then does. Another condition tied to the government-funded towers is that, and it was mentioned by MTC and Telecom, infrastructure sharing. To say when that tower, I think you would note that most of the towers that are up and running, the height is very high. For a reason being that NBC requires a higher tower for them to be able to connect, which means when that tower is put up there, and that's the collaboration that we are asking, that tower should be able then to locate, let's say it's an MTC tower, Telecom must be able to co-locate and offer services. The same as NBC should be able to co-locate and then offer the services. So these are the activities or the intentions that we have in this regard. The issue, I think, of monetization, the Honorable Minister will touch on that because it is very dear to her heart. We have heard she speaking a lot about that. There was an issue of the setting up of the GIC studios in the ministry. This afternoon we'll be going to the ministry to have an engagement so that we can then look into that. Yes, we are aware that the live streaming services are available or public addressing system are available, but we are going to the ministry this afternoon to discuss that. SIM card registration, it's a legal requirement in terms of the Communications Act that the ministry put in place, which places obligations on the operators to ensure that they register. We've had many engagements with the operators with regards to the issues that were raised, such as that the cards used for criminal purposes. Not playing down that no all cards are registered, but according to what the operators are indicating is that these cards are all operated. Whichever card is not registered, then is disconnected. But maybe just to bring in one element is that, you know, the cyber criminals are equally the same, or they operate the same, just like the criminal. It's a syndicate. You can have your house, you have a high wall, you have cameras, you have beams, you have electrical fence. These criminals still get away. You find a way to get into your house. The same as with technologies, that you can have your strongest systems, but then these criminals would have to find a way. Some clone your SIM cards, and then that's how they use such. But like Dr. Shandapinda indicated, should you experience that, please inform the police, because only when you have a criminal case that the police and MTC and Telecom will be able then to act to say, yes, there was a fraud using a certain card. Important also, maybe the message while we are here having this conversation is that what we have noted also, you would find, I'm registered at MTC with my 2 cards or Telecom. I can have 3 cards or so. Then some stranger, or because your certain employer doesn't have the identification, we take on that risk of registering a 3rd person. And then somebody also, like, is your employee that lives home and goes with your card. What will that card be used? Because that card now is your name. So you would find instances when you hear somebody will just come by the shop and say, no, I want to go to MTC to buy a card. Can you please buy this card on my behalf? And I'll give you $200. Somebody you never met. So these are some of the things also in terms of awareness that we need to know, that we safeguard also the cards that's in our position, because it's very important. Your ID is attached to that. Then satellite. Yes, in terms of our law, any operator should apply to the Communication Regulatory Authority of Namibia and be granted a license, provided they meet the requirements. So our laws are technology neutral. We don't indicate the type of technology that must be used for because technology moves at a very fast pace. So it's broad. You can connect using whatever technology that you would want to use, provided then that you meet the requirements as set out in our legislative frameworks. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Edie.
Thank you, Edie. I just have 3 that I think needs to be tackled as well. The one is on the monetization. I've spoken a lot about monetization, both at the ministry, in public forums, with young creators themselves. Indeed, monetization is very important to us. We are working on it. I think we need to understand that the platforms being used are not Namibian. They are also not registered in Namibia. They do not have a point of presence in Namibia. And Namibia is not the only African country that is challenged with monetization because, one, of our population. We have a population of about 3 million people compared to South Africa that has 50 million plus. 60 million plus. So that is the biggest challenge. On all the platforms, the very same platforms, I've engaged the CEO of TikTok, I've engaged the vice president on Google AdSense, I've engaged the African director of the Southern African region around monetization on Instagram. All these platforms we are engaging, but the challenges are the same. Our population, they do not have the capacity to onboard because they need to spend money to onboard a country. So the engagement continues and the fight continues, but we are also exploring to say how can we have our own platforms internally to help monetize. I'm sure those of us who follow the news, the Prime Minister spoke about that, if not last week. So it's high priority on the ministry's agenda. Unfortunately, some things are just sometimes out of government's control, but we continue to engage. On the time frames, sadly, I cannot give you time frames. I can give you timeframes in terms of what we communicated to the Universal Service Fund. I think we must understand that technology is not cheap. If all of us lose our smartphone now and it's not insured, I promise you don't have the money right there and then to buy another smartphone. Technology is sadly not cheap, and I think that's the cost of progress and development when technology is concerned. We still have a lot of work to do to ensure that the importation, for example, of smartphones are cheaper to allow for it to be cheaper for the end user. I do not know of any plant in Namibia that assembles a cell phone as of yet. Not all the components are available in the country. All of that contributes to cost. So no time frames because we have the plans that were presented by the operators. We had the different phases of the Universal Service Fund. It's dependent on the availability of money. I can tell you now in terms of our projected budget we'll get from the Ministry of Finance as a Ministry of ICT. We have money to the NBC, for example, Nampa New Era that gives you all this information. We need to give money for the Universal Service Fund for towers to be put up. It's not an easy exercise. And Kavango West is one of 14 regions. I just want you to think about now. We are here, 16 kilometers out of Kurenkuru. But if you think about where Osinke is, Osinke in Karas region, you must also connect. Lutrets, Roshpina, you must connect. Opuo, you must connect. Impalila Island, from here, you must still connect. So it's just, I just need you to see the picture we are having as a ministry. That where do you put first in that financial year when you have 40 million? Where do you put first? Kavango West has 8 constituencies. Total, there are 121 constituencies. You can only put 40 towers. Each constituency has a need. Which one do you give first? So be rest assured, we try our very best. And that is why we're here to engage, because we know the needs and we want to hear from you, so we collaborate together. But we ask that you also bear with us and work with us as we're expanding. I tell you now, the next region I'm going to is Hardap. They're going to ask me why I gave Kavango West 3 towers and another 3. You know? And I must explain, okay, you are only getting 1, but why Kavango West got 3? You get what I'm saying? So we are in a challenge. We are in a challenge, but we try our best to make sure that gradually, year after year, financial year after financial year, we get there. Collaboration with Ministry of Industries, Mines and Energy, indeed, we are collaborating. And that is why earlier when I was speaking to the regional leadership, the councillors and the governor, we have what we call a broadband connectivity committee, where we say, if NORAD is now digging trenches to put up electricity lines, can we coordinate so that fiber also goes in the same? Or if a road is being built, and this is also now with Ministry of Works and Transport, let's say there's a new road going to Kapako. The governor informed me about the area earlier. When they're digging, can we ensure that the fiber is built next to, or electricity lines, so that after the road is built, you don't open up the road again, put the fiber, put the electricity and close it. It's an extra cost that could have gone to another tower somewhere, or could have gone to upgrade another tower. So we are really collaborating and coordinating. We have another meeting coming up with the new Minister of Mines and Energy very soon, just to make sure that that coordination is strengthened and better utilized. Lastly, just to touch a little bit on what the ED spoke about, in terms of low orbit satellite, it's very much welcomed. I think 3 weeks ago, CRAN gave a license to a low orbit satellite company. They got their license. Fortunately or unfortunately, every country is governed by laws. And the responsibility is to ensure that technology, although it's very much wonderful, it can also be dangerous. And for the responsibility of the Ministry of ICT is to ensure that the technology that comes into the country adds and not deducts or not subtracts. So anybody who complies with our law is more than welcomed. Low orbit satellite solutions are the best solution, in my opinion, for a country like Namibia. Vast, sparsely populated, small population, 3 million people, but who sit in a country of 824 square kilometers, 824,000 square kilometers large. Some villages, like the Honorable Councillor was saying, has 5 households. And I'm sure the operators sit there thinking, sure, I must now put a tower of 1.4 million, 700,000 to Norad for electricity, put up generators for backup for 12 hours that will also cost money for 5 households. It's an expensive exercise. That is what we are grappled with as a government, but we are here to work together, and with your support, we'll succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that response. Forgive me, Honorable Minister, for breaking the protocol of allowing anybody else to speak after you have spoken. Telecom Namibia, I understand you did not touch on the social responsibilities that you have planned or in the pipeline for the Kavango West region. If you may, please. Just 2 minutes. 1 minute, actually. 30 seconds, even better.
Thanks for that. We do have our public relations committee that handles all of the requests as they do come in. We don't allocate per region. We look at the viability of a particular project within the communication space. So please do write to us, and there is a committee that looks at it objectively from that perspective.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Shanapinda. There was another suggestion. I think we are finding solutions as well. Simanya wanted to give a suggestion on how they can actually contribute to the connectivity when it comes to this side. You see, we have been struggling with connectivity since this morning. So the gentleman just wanted to give... briefly, just a few seconds, the House would also want to benefit from that suggestion. See, we are already finding solutions to our problems.
Hello. Oh, there we go. So at Samaya, we have that area on top open. At this moment, we have our own tower. Okay, so yeah, at the gate there is open piece of land. We have our own small tower, which has clear visibility to Nkurukuru and Katwitwi. So we can offer land, and we can assist with power. We have power running upstairs, so I think we can help with that maybe.
We have one solution already to our problem. Please, let's clap for Simanya for that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to conclude. Time is also not on our side. I would like to give Ms. Nambahu just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just to briefly explain to my grandmother, who's now closer to her little box called the radio. Then later on we give to Honorable Tenga to close. You may do it where you are, ma'am. Thank you.
Pando siru nene wadakunatu itamekera skupi. But what I've taken note of, sorry, na ndomekepo na nzamoto pukamaunono. Como puro que na cava pura, eu tô agora malimbo roba tupe gato tunye como arrohago por siga malimbo rogo kwa to agwana ko telecom au kwa pandura ezi pito wa agwana to avrekia agwana itundwamo ndi marunyege nyogetoka to avragawa yokuhamena nyengwendi kevu ndike wangolo lwa kungasa vre kultura po dono site dao
Ao kwa uyunga skapewakana na udigu no traditional authority ya vurukurugana kuza tawagwana ogo mkunda horoero tawa henyene au kuwapa makura au kutaranyasi ogo mkunda vantu okura kupewakarapo tana avura kuturapo oro ruhunguru aondi ogo magwanekero gao hambara tungo mona kuyongona ne ministeri asi ngwendi dodono ogo maruhogo ago kwa karira ponye hambara ngwe no unangesefa mouli makura sene nyasi opopo mkunda mambo gatano tupu oyo wakuvara kureta we aturepo kosa mkoso go mnene unene makura mokwa mangesefa ngwendi kapitailizi ya kubakona kutaratango nyasi ogo mkunda vantu vanzi wakarapo ona avura kurugane sanye oyo wakuvura kuvaretera ipwasi nawo vavureka gwane namo iwizamo kuhame nanye ina nikasi sene epangero kuvura kuwakwatesako vauyungasi epangero kuwakwatesako kupitiranye mbunga zina zo CRAN okwavuru kugawa mahundiro makura tawagwanako nsonso ozo wakuvura kuwapa zivura kuwakwatesako vavure kutura magwanekero gena alio epangero kudigawanye kozozo mbunganye ozo asizo CRAN makura edino ngesefa edokupa ko Telecom di MTC awo kutura mahundiro vavure kuwana kwina hamenanye gena magwanekero gapiri kuwapa ko ruhanye kwinaro kurenkuru VTC imohena nosure de na dahamene kwina vauyunga singana na vavura kuitarurura ipo vavura kutara singena vavura kuruganako kwamenanye ikarata ino apira kuchangisa kwa uyunga sisene ogwanekere no digo karangoso wakona kuhenye na kwa porosi ipo ovure patururanye zo case au aporosi na avuranye kugwanekeranye no na MTC ndi na Telecom imohena wako inkondo pekatupu nao executive director asi ukorokochi mom tupu da karasi no technology kwa kudiwa pukurura owe nao karasi wana mahaka imonawa gwana nao no mpito dawa vavure kureta po iniki yawo ya biri kuwapera mara mokwama yenga no report da vavure gwana adokwa karanga nasi ikarata ina wapira kuchangeza ayongano vainde mbura konga kapia karahena mompepo mara simpeto gwana si vamwe simpe vura para simpe mpito zinavura gwana ipwavure kurugane sa simpio so skarta surugane se ninki yapiri kuwapera tani kuhamenanye kuhamenanye maligwanekero ndi kurugane na kumwe ipo vavure wale kuturapo gena maruungu gena ndi magwanekero muna tupuka poralina si sene nyasi wamone nyasi kuturapo ruungu ndi magwanekero gena mkoso mzi unene Kenya Telecom kwa turapo maudegu gawo MTC nage inke wakupira kurugane na kumwe iyo waga basi erugane na kumwe polili unene pongwe ndi setara sone na wale ruhunguru ino rakara munkure nkuru oro rakara si na wenye bavura kutura ko magwanekero gawo gena ipo tuvure kukara mompepo kuhame na no ungano wavure kurugane sanya si wale no battery ndi no sola morao digo rucheno sero adimi rucheno makura magwanekero kapnaga vura kara oyo asi wavura kambadara opo wavura nika kurugane sa no battery ipodivure kugawa ndiro sene wale rucheno rwa adimi nye udigo utupunyasi ezona guro ndi lyoine nkeina monkara pamwe yowa khotopeka simpe asingano tuvure kunomena nokutarura siwole wakuvura kuzona gura emona lina ko malimburo gatu ndunye ko MTC sene na sigi ko kwina gamwe walina tugagwa na tupunye panatuza ko mzu kwa kwetu au kwa uyunga si wa izu na wana wandi wadiwa na wana wasi kavango zetu zoutokero wakona kutura momo mnene mokuhame na magwanekero gena ipo vantu vavure kara no magwanekero kuhame nanye social responsibility ndi inayokuvura kutengwidamo monkara pamwe ipo ivure kuvatera monkara pamwe asinganana vaitwara kwa kwawo ona ipo vavure kaitarura vavure kutara si ngapi omna vura karuga nako ipo vavure kutengwida monkara pamwe ivure kwasa ikarenya swaleta afutire kwa nona vaze konosure dono nene ndingapi yokuhamena mavango gona avura kutura nyedo maruhungu gao nao kwa uyungas nao kutara komunzi wo vantu vakara momkunda yaivuru kuvali kidasi pomkundo go tavuru kutura ponye ruhungu ruina ndi magwane kerogena aho varugana makona kono monkure nkuru igogawani ningisire morali ne puro kali karasi inkai vatimbulisa ndinkai avatara vavurika ninkasi momkunda nogu ndipo mango naga rakatura marungu gaogena ndi magwane kerogena ipo vauyunga nyasi awo kurugana na makona kono ekona kono limo varugana monkure yavaningisa vatimburure nyogo maruhagane ndiogo mawango gane ogona avura kutura maruhungu gao urumwe orova atura nare mo monkure nkuru extension 8 anwagaga magatatu igo simpe nagona avura katura ruhanyero NBC ao kwa zimwasi einanye etwa kuya uyungapa nanye etwa kuya ndomekapa maruhago kuli siga ngano mulio unenasi opo twakuvura kutengura ndio pavura kutengura vavure kaitura ngano moirugana ipo ngano ivure vavure karugana koyuma hame nanye yezona kurole lemona ndilio maruhungu gena ndino battery dina avuru kutura ndi ikarato vapira kuchangesa vakona kurugana ngano kumwe ikarenya sina MTC ndi na Telecom ipo vavure kurete sapo ediviso vavure kurete sapo ediviso vantu vadiwasi yangesi ngakapiskuirugana ndisene okwana mtokwa kurugana yongandi nyoso skarta wale kapasi changesa zende kwa porosi ndiyo mono mtu akuzona gura emona wale ole vavuru kutura po Telecom ndi MTC kapisi muitarere ndi msikiriro go mtu ediviso lina ndiye rongolina ilio waku nkondo pekasi ngano vavure karugana kumwe ipo vavure kukaligawa monkara pamwe iyo vaku ya uyunga kohe na kuhame na radio wato zetu zina kwa kumane sanye radio wato zetu zina zakarasi kapisa kukwateka wale oemo kawango ikarinya zoutokero kara nye kapio kuvura kupura kena ko radio wato mara panoza kono dapeke radio wato tokasigwa nako au kwa uyunga monyasi pamwe karasi wale odono frequency ndipena atu stelere radio zetu pena wale itotwa pira twakona divisa vantu vadiwasi ngapi sene nyasi wale maikuli okara frequency zapo frequency msinke yewa kustumbras 94.7 se wale monkure nkuru 105.10 mara vatumbura nyasi ngwendi ko mkunda gwa kwaki wale frequency kuvatuka njogo magwane kero kuvatuka wale mokupopera wale suruo nika hagere tuputa hopopo pandu
Mpandu Miss Nambahu Kavango zoutokero siruo sina sikimo. Now is the time. Thank you so much for that. And as we conclude this productive engagement, as Mr. Denk have indicated, we should not just take note. We should go back to work and make sure we deliver. And as I said, we know who to hold accountable now. We know the faces. Thank you so much. I would like to welcome to the podium to do the closing remarks and vote of thanks the Honorable Councillor of the Nkurenkuru constituency and Chairperson of the Kavango West Region or Regional Council, Honorable Theofelus Tenga. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Stenguko Sosua. Thank you very much, Director of Proceedings, Mrs. Asteria Nangula. Mwetwas Nangurane. Yeah, it's the same. We are all one. We are Africans. Yeah, the names are the same. Okay. Thank you, Director of Proceedings, for giving me this opportunity just to move a vote of thanks. So, Honorable Emma Theofelus, Minister of Information and Technology, Communication and Technology, Honorable Venasi Nimbo, Governor of Kavango West Region, Honorable Councillors present here, Mrs. Linda Nakale, our Executive Director, Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, Deputy Commissioner of NAMPOL, Mr. Aches and your team, directors, and head of institutions, I all recognize you. And also the business communities, I can see also representatives from political parties, and also members of the community. So you are all acknowledged. Thank you that you are all here. So members of the media, distinguished stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So today we find ourselves at a unique crossroad as central and regional government officials, political and traditional leaders, business people, telecommunications and broadcasting operators, and the public engage on national development issues related to the ICT industry. We appreciate, Comrade Minister, your efforts for consultative and collaborative approach towards not only ICT development, but also nation building. So for being with us today, bringing to us foot soldiers is a testament to your commitment to effectively carrying out the mandate bestowed upon you by His Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah. Indeed, this speaks to the notion of development for the people with the people. Through ICT infrastructure, development and access to information, we can confidently add to that and say development by the people, as we are excited on the prospects that ICT, innovation, artificial intelligence, and digitalization. Therefore, on behalf of our governor and on behalf of Kavango West Regional Council, fellow councillors, and the people of the region, I extend our deepest gratitude to all who have joined us today and contributed to the success of this higher level stakeholders engagement. We sincerely thank the Honorable Minister Emma Theofelus for this occasion and for reaffirming the ministry's commitment to ensuring that Kavango West is part of the digital transformation journey. Your visionary leadership is inspiring, gives us a confidence in the political while trying to collectively bridge the digital gap. To our honorable Governor Theofelus Nimbo, we are grateful for your warm welcome and for highlighting the critical role ICT plays in uplifting our communities. Your dedication to advancing development in our region is truly commendable. We also acknowledge and appreciate our constituency councillors and traditional leaders for their attendance and the participation and for sharing valuable insights into the needs of our communities. Your voice ensures that ICT solutions remain people-centered and responsive to local realities. Our appreciation goes to the Communication Regulatory Authority of Namibia, CRAN, MTC, NBC, and Telecom Namibia for your information presentation and for demonstrating your commitment to expanding connectivity and services in Kavango West. Your partnership is critical to achieving a sustainable ICT development. Na haraku kurugana sampitwezi asi wale tu pandure mokuliki dasi sili twa pandura ko kuiva tuletere unene kono organization dina na tumbagura abatupe no presentation tokulisiga no kutupauzera asingapi nani omugas kama mafana ikogawo tani nanainye ebavura kurugana ne baharaka rugana mumkunda gwetu gwa Kavango utokero asopomo na aratu apandure kwei twazuveni na wana wakuyukilirasi ko wiwi ko kandumbu tani watu ndindirasi ke moyo warugana. So simpe na momsese no mompungu wakara simpe ndi wakara ni gano oloda kunika simpe ta wakatura mohena mavera go MTC simpe na tuwa peniko magana niki make. So aswale popo posuruoso hena tupandure wa NBC watu penana wasi ndiba zuvi rusibano lwetu ndino mpumbwe detu odwatu sibana nkeirweja si nosetu aharamo munkule nkulu wa kwetu ofisi za NBC twazuve nyuma tsanzekeliasi kapiwa akaraure ngano taba ya paturura tani varugani vasi hafere na siri unene mokuiza tu yarugane na mo Kavango zo utokero wale tu apeniko hena make. Asi come tomorrow, the time is now. Okay. Ya siruosa siki imoena tupu tupandure tupu ministry zetu kweiza zali pas digo twazuveniasi va paturura ndi va paturura mo munkule nkuru mberozo wakutumburasi GIC Government Information Center omo ngano natuvura kuruganesa mbere wozo ipotugawe mapukururo moba tungimo omo mkunda Kavango zo utokero nawo tu apeniko make asi makuri ko kufarango so igotwa kundindira imotupuhena wale momo suruesi ni gavetupu wale hundiro lenjasi Honorable Minister, we are very much upset with the NORAD. You have heard exactly what even the operators have said, service providers. They have towers in our communities, but these towers, some of them, they are not even connected to electricity. And they have also towers in our communities, but when electricity goes down, everything, it affects a lot of things. I don't know how are we going to manage to at least put up a joint discussion with these people, especially the Norad people. They are really disappointing us. So that is the message that I want to just carry to you, Comrade Minister. We are not happy with Norad at all. Norad is a thorn in the flesh for us during this rainy season, especially during this rainy season. We are experiencing problems. So that is really what we want our ministers to take it up. We know it's not under your mandate, but we know that chair of yours can at least, do something. So I must also thank the MTC. I have listened very carefully, especially for the people who have raised the issue of network problem in Korenkuru. And they have promised that they are going to build 4. One of them is already finished. 3 is remaining, 4 empty towers to boost the network connectivity. Thank you very much. Can we give them also a round of applause? Thank you very much. So there is a lot that we can thank you, but as the time could not allow, thank you very much for whatever you have done, but we are still expecting more. So to all stakeholders present and government officials, private sector representatives, and the members of the media, we thank you for your contribution and for engaging in the crucial discussions that will shape the future of ICT in our region. So lastly, we extend gratitude to the organizers for putting this event together, the director of ceremony for coordinating our discussion in an orderly manner, and the important engagement. Thank you all, but I must leave you with this message. Vandalism is one of the things that derails our development in terms of ICT. You have heard from the service providers, those are the challenges that are facing. Communities, now whereas our traditional leaders are here, Masimbi Mogeli Omu, na mono no nik ekadile mom sansa, ne? Ngoli mo posmaya pa ekadile mom sansa. We must be very careful. So, for those who want to know about that ekadile mom sansa, you will get me later. So, vandalism is a collective effort. Let's disseminate information in our communities during our engagements with communities. Please, they must refrain from vandalism. Morana yo ininge yaktengu disa ininge konyima. Moigongi yetu, yo pankara pamwe, bakansela, baforomani, tupitseni monombuti dokufanangezi. Unene wanawe tu. We don't have control over our children. Manawe tu, tazi kipoka sta kalisa na ngombe nani, tazi itakazuna kula ininge maraseno ya za monzugo. When you go in the, these kids are sleeping. Toka gwane some of these equipments. Unenengwe no sola yo wadi hara morwa, wahara ya connecte ininge yao. Please, let's be, tukareni ninge proactive potu vatere, wa service provider vetwasi, ininge ya wa izo nakuras. Mare ininge kwa ile takwetu. Ose wakurona, please, tutareni wana vetwasi, seneta warugana ininge kufanango so, tuiba nyokereni. So, ozo izo mbudi na haragawa mwetu, kenye kutuwa kuzeni, monkara pamwe, tuzisikiseni, kwa wantu. Ano imwe, senetwa imonwa si afire kuirapata kwa porosi, kuirapata usimbu. Ipogo mtu, waya mu tilikise. So thank you for all, and may we continue working together towards a digitally inclusive Namibia. Wareni hagere popo, pandu unene imwa prake.
We'll hit the link. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like us to all rise.
Let us all unite and celebrate together. There is one for all. Let us get it. Let us